This is episode 11 of Boys Podcast.
1-1. Double digits.
Go to boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. There you will find links to all of our episodes, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that good shit. There's also a donate button if you're feeling generous. You can throw a few dollars our way. It helps keep the lights on.
Sure does. You can also email us. Just drop us a line to let us know what you're thinking about it. Maybe you have like a topic idea, or you just want to tell us how fucking awesome we are. That'd be great.
Or terrible.
Either way.
We've been getting a few donations and a few nice emails. And topics are always welcome. If there's something you'd like for us to discuss and bore you to death or entertain you, or somewhere probably right in the middle.
Or if you have something to say about something we've talked about in a previous episode.
Yes, and any critique, criticisms, praises,
shove them up your ass.
No, they're very welcome.
They're very welcome.
This episode features Kellen McGugan, and we had a really good long talk. We talked about all kinds of things. Talked about his trip to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about awkward bar interactions.
Yes.
You know, you see that person, you might know them, you might not, but either way, you usually don't want to talk to them.
Sure, you want to be alone.
So we talk about that.
We talked about when you bowed out of the pit, when you stopped being in a pit.
Yep. Basically our most insane, chaotic, scary concert situations. That was fun, and a wealth of other things.
Sure. Lots of things.
And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get right to the episode.
Yeah. Kellen McGugan.
Hey, bro, what are you drinking? Oh, this? It's an Anthem Arjuna. What about you? Just beer? Oh.
This episode of Boys is brought to you in part by Anthem Brewing Company, located in the heart of Oklahoma City.
Check them out online at anthembrewing.com.
If it is an anthem,
it's just beer.
This episode is sponsored by Anthem Brewing.
I'm drinking an Anthem IPA. It's a very good beer.
Nice.
It's a very good beer. 6.5 alcohol by volume.
Oh boy.
Hey, that'll get the job done.
It definitely, two of those and you're good to go.
You're a little crispy.
You're a little crispy.
AnthemBrewing.com.
That's
little
true.
Crispy. It'll make you a little crispy.
A little crispy.
So yeah, we're here with Kellen McGugan.
Hello.
And we know each other a little bit, but the cool thing about this podcast is with doing it with Josh is I get to meet new people all the time. And while we know each other, we've never really just broed down.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, we haven't had a solid brodeo yet.
That's a good one.
But we're well on our way.
Yeah.
Here it
totally.
is.
So how's it been going, Josh?
Pretty good, man. The start of a 4-day weekend. Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle it.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's I talked about it on the last podcast. It's all about filling that time wisely. And as like a somewhat, I mean, not a pro musician. I'm obviously not a pro musician.
Well, hello, pro musician over here.
I'm saying
Holy
I
shit.
said I'm not a pro musician. Like I could easily fill my time doing. I could do that shit all day. I'm sure you could too. Like if you,
Yeah.
I have 4 days and nothing to do. I'm just gonna sit and record shit for 4 days straight.
Yeah, you give me 4 days, I will fill that time.
Yeah.
Not the wisest, but I will fill it.
For sure. But that's the thing. Do you do that? And but then I'm married, so you have to spend some time with the wife.
Right.
I've already promised to take my nephew to that aerospace museum in Weatherford.
Oh.
Doing that tomorrow. I'm kind of excited about that.
You're stacking the deck. You're
Dude,
stacking the weekend
I'm
deck.
filling that fucking 4-day weekend in hard. And I'm not going to celebrate 4th of July because I don't really give a shit anymore.
Well, just having the day off, I think, would be like a celebration enough.
Sure, yeah. Celebrate by not working.
On a Monday.
I'm doing the opposite. I am doing nothing this weekend.
I would love to do that.
I have parental obligations I have to follow. Not that I'm a parent, but to my parents.
A barbecue, a cookout.
A couple.
Sure.
Two barbecues.
Like the whole family function, or
my dad is so cute. He and my stepmom. He's retired, and he lives on 5 acres out in Choctaw.
Cool.
And basically, he just like tends his land every day. Like he mows a lot. He does a big garden every year. He's always doing something outside, working outside. There's always something he's doing. And every 4th of July,
the master of meat.
And he's also an amazing. Let me turn this down. He's also an amazing grillsman.
Okay.
Like seriously, some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life comes from Daddy's Grill.
Yes, I like that name too, Grillsmen. I'm going to start using that.
Grillsmen.
Grillsmen.
So every 4th of July, he throws a big party because it's legal to shoot fireworks out there, which is cool, right outside the city limits. And he goes to his altar and he creates this beautiful bounty of meat for everyone to feast upon. And I'm not talking burgers and dogs. I'm talking like
The whole
Everything.
brisket ribs.
yeah.
Oh, so
we
he's
were the same
smoking
thing,
stuff.
exactly.
So he's smoking stuff.
He's the kind of guy, he
Yeah.
smokes a brisket and he'll make a couple like those big like rotisserie chickens as well. And then he calls this his appetizer. He takes a loaf of classic wheat bread out to the grill, to the table by the grill, pulls a hot link off the grill, bender backs it, one piece of bread,
Does he grill it?
throws some barbecue sauce on it. Now that's his appetizer. Just eating hot
Oh,
links.
so he does nothing to the loaf.
No.
He just puts the
Sauce on it.
Sauce is it.
I was hoping for maybe like he maybe put it on the grill to maybe toast that bread a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, tell him that when you go say, maybe you should grill that bread, Pop. Maybe that'll make it not enough to where you can still bend it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't break.
It's got a light sizzle.
A light sizzle.
A quick grilling.
like a flash, like a
Searing.
There it is. There it is.
sear that rainbow wheat bread.
Let's get a good sear on that wheat bread.
I just think it's funny because that's an appetizer, like a piece of bread and a hot link.
That's almost a meal, man.
Yeah,
That's
I got bills to pay. That's a meal.
Yeah.
And he always says, eat one of those, you'll be fine. Eat 2 of those, then we'll tear you up. My dad loves talking about shitting meat. I don't know why. Probably because he eats so much of it.
Well versed in the dumpage.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, 4th of July is a big deal. They pop fireworks.
Yeah.
He homemade ice cream every year.
Like hand,
Whoa.
like the hand,
Hand
dude,
cranked.
I love that.
Hold the phone.
And it's cute. Again, it's really cute. My dad thinks it's culinary that he smashes up Butterfingers and puts them in the vanilla ice cream.
That's kind of culinary.
I would also give it the culinary
Yeah.
badge there. That seems very artesian.
Yeah.
I'm just spoiled, I guess. I
It's
don't know.
definitely handcrafted, local, handmade ice cream by way of the Mars Company.
He calls it Butterfinger Delight.
That's a good name.
He even came up with a name for it. I mean, hats off to the guy.
That's a businessman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's a Grillsman and businessman.
He's a creamman.
A creamer. I'm going to take that one back.
Yeah, take that one back. Let's bring that one back a notch.
Culinarian.
I'm going to be
culinary.
honest, though, for years, up until recently, a couple years ago, I was trying to talk him into starting a food truck. Like I'm talking, this is, and not to try to come off as cool or pretentious, but like this was before this was like 6 or 7 years ago when we started talking about this. Like, Dad, we should get in now. They're gonna get big. They're gonna be cool.
Oh, it was like at a time when you saw it on like Food Network, and it hadn't really caught on in Oklahoma City yet.
Exactly.
But it was starting. People were starting to think about it.
Robbie, you've lived places other than Oklahoma City, correct?
Stillwater,
Still okay.
and I was actually born in Bethany.
But you visited a bunch of places.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
in a band that toured and saw. So like Robbie lived in Austin. That's probably where it started, right? When you lived in Austin, seeing all these food trucks and shit.
It actually started when I visited Austin after I moved back, and there's a food truck at the Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what it is, but they make these awesome little pork buns.
Yeah.
And they were on a TV show. They won one of those food truck challenges or something.
I think it might have been called like the Food Network Food Truck Challenge.
I think
Yeah,
exactly
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw a food truck and ate at one. And I came back and I was like, Dad, you cook so well. There's also a huge intersection out by my dad's house where there's several truck stops.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Choctaw and
that would
I-40.
be the biggest
We
spot.
should have just...
Nice.
I was like, you could even grill the meat at your house because he only lives like a mile away. Grill the meat, smoke the meat at your house, and let me be in charge of selling it.
Yeah.
And marketing
like
it.
run the truck. Well, that's the thing. Dude, your dad would be so fucking... I think you told me... We talked about that before. That would be the fucking biggest barbecue food truck. I think in this... He is a master of meat. I'm thankful that before I went vegetarian, I had plenty of...
My dad's meat.
plenty of your dad's meat in my mouth. And it was tasty.
All right.
Quite tasty. No, it was, yeah. I think that'd be great. He should still fucking do that. Even with the food truck boom, fucking do it.
And even if it's not like a food truck thing, it's like people will have those evenings. You remember that restaurant Nani? Well, they started doing stuff at Waffle Champion, I guess, like once in a while. Like Todd Woodruff would have those chefs out, and they would do like an X-course meal. Like, what if he did something like that, but not as... again, I don't want to use the word like pretentious, but like something a little bit more laid back.
Right.
Sure.
Like, like his barbecue and stuff like that.
A little more,
laissez-faire.
Sure.
Just something for the
Yes, that's a good. That's
something
a good.
for the working man.
Something for the
Yeah,
working man.
The
A little
working man's barb.
blue collar barb.
The working man's food truck.
Working man's food for sure. And be like brass bone, like nothing, just bare. We got 3 things. I got brisket, I got ribs,
They got bears.
and I got bears.
We got
Bear claws, like the pastry.
yeah, but they're covered in barbecue sauce.
ooh.
I don't know why you would do that.
Ew.
I'm into it.
But
I
yeah, so
think-
the 4th of July is a huge thing for my parents, so we will be going out there,
That's awesome.
seeing the
That'd be
fireworks.
fun. Do you guys do that kind of stuff?
I have a tradition long-standing for about, I want to say 6 or 7 years. So every 4th of July, my good friend and roommate right now, Patrick Murray,
Mhm.
his parents live out in Midwest City, and they
Okay.
have this this house, a nice house. It's got a pool, and he's also got this backyard. I swear, it's like half of a football field long. And at the back of this backyard is a 2-story guest house that we call a boathouse.
Okay.
And on the second floor of that boathouse is a bar that's stocked and ready to go. And there's like a cooler for like beer back there and everything. So basically, we have, I will go down there tomorrow after work. I'm taking a half day. So I'll go down there tomorrow and I will stay there until Tuesday morning.
Damn.
And all we do is, he's already got the meat ready. So he grills, probably have like maybe 100 beers out there because it's me, him, and then usually like some people will come and go.
Right.
But there's never more than like 6 people there at all times. It's very just like super low key because his parents go out of town,
yeah.
like on vacation, with the family, and
Okay.
he watches the house.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like you were definitely there for some of them, maybe the like old school like Gatewood party days.
Oh, yeah, Gatewood.
but on a super smaller scale. Like there's 6 of you. That's it.
Yep.
No more.
No more. But we're
Yeah.
gonna party that hard. But 6 of us. That's
yeah,
it.
we cap it, and then okay, so we've got this pool, right? And so I'll go over there tomorrow. I'll get there probably about like 1 or 1:30. It's in Midwest City, and we will hop in the pool. We'll crack some beers. We'll talk about what we want to have for dinner. We'll just like chill and float in the pool for a long time. Cook dinner, keep drinking, keep eating, keep swimming, and then once like 9 or 9:30 rolls around, 10 o'clock, we will actually go back to that boathouse. We will walk out, and then Pat will sit behind the bar, and 4 or 5 of us will just kind of sit around the bar, and we'll play card games, we'll drink, we'll somebody will have the iPod, and we'll just pass the iPod around. The iPod,
Yeah.
pass that around.
That classic Jim.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then we'll get kind of sauced enough to where we might go down to the pool again.
Sure.
But if we're not feeling it, we'll all stay up there and like we'll put on like a movie or something, and people will like watch the movie, and we'll just keep conversating and drinking and stuff like that. And that it will go until about 3 or 4 in the morning.
That sounds so fucking nice.
Yeah, it's great because it's just complete isolation out there.
Yeah.
Like their neighbors never come out or anything. We just like hang out. We have a good time. We shoot. We go buy fireworks like Saturday morning and then shoot those off Saturday and
Because it's
Sunday.
still legal in Midwest City, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure.
That's awesome.
Legal
man.
enough.
Right.
Legal enough.
Right. Yeah. No one's gonna come out.
No one's gonna fuck with you.
Kids and your fireworks.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to this whole thing is you just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to hang out with my friends and not be harassed by a random rube.
Yes.
You know? It's bad. Like my friend Matt and I, we go to this really crappy hole in the wall bar, Richards, by my house.
All right.
We go there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, not all the time. We meet we meet there once a month.
That's
but-
also Danny Black's favorite. fucking
yeah, I've ran
reference.
into him
Yeah.
many time there. But it never fails, Kellen. Every single time, we'll just be minding our own business, having a couple dad beers, catching up.
Yep.
And some sunburnt, angry, drunk dad just has to say something or sit by us and like try to strike up a conversation. And I don't know if it's just an age thing or if it's like just being an elitist or what, but it's like, just leave me alone. Unless I wave somebody over to the table, why would you approach someone?
Yeah,
Especially
harsh my
two
vibe.
people who are having a conversation just like this.
I mean, they're lonely. I don't know. I mean, I'm in the exact same boat as you are. I hate like if I'm just chilling, like if I'm at the speakeasy and it's me, and then Josh might be there before me or he'll get there after, and we'll just sit next to each other and we'll just be having like a light conversation, having some beers, and then here comes like Joe Schmo and 4 of his birds, like just chirping, and then they try to talk to us, and it's like, oh yeah, da 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 da, and like one small exchange will turn into like a 15-minute
Yeah.
conversation. She's like, dude, fuck
Or
me.
or one of the two of us gets caught in the conversation. It's like, well, well, that's lost. Now I have to diffuse this bullshit for probably 20 minutes to try to get this guy.
But what happens is I'm always too nice.
Yeah.
So it always starts with
aren't
like
we all?
you go to the bar, you go to the bar, and like somebody just gives you like the heads up, like the what's up head tilt, and then so I tilt back,
Yeah.
and then they step over. Hey man, well, what are you drinking? What are you doing? And then
There
before
goes.
you know it, they're in my car. No, I'm just kidding. No,
They're sucking my dick, and I don't know what to do.
I don't
What do I
know.
do? Do I pay them? I have no idea what to do at
How
that
did I
point.
get here?
this money just keeps falling out of my wallet. I don't know. But yeah, it never fails. They end up like, man, I could tell you some stories just at Richards alone, let alone any of the other hundreds of places we've been over the years.
Yeah.
But it never fails. And Matt's always like, you just got to be mean. Like,
No. Then you get in a fight.
well, I think, okay, maybe not mean, but maybe just like, you just have to be like dismissive. Like, oh
Yeah,
hey. And then
yeah.
you turn around and walk off. But I always like linger a little too long, I guess.
Yeah.
And it opens the door.
Yeah.
Yep. It's because it's that niceness, man. It's that Oklahoma hospitality.
Here, yeah, that's the thing, and it always never fails. It comes to a point if you stay long enough in that conversation to try to be nice and move them along. It always comes to the point of them buying shots for you, and then that's when it gets to the point of taking that shot with them. That's a fucking agreement.
Right.
That
You enter into a binding contract that you are about to put up with their shit for the
all
foreseeable
night.
future.
Oh.
Yes.
See, and I don't get shots. I never get shots.
I don't drink liquor.
Ever?
Yeah.
I mean,
Rarely?
I think the only time that Josh may have seen me drink liquor is drinking Irish Springs.
Irish Spring shots when they're bought, or like if you'll get one, like someone someone will be like, hey, Kellen, do shots. Like, all right, fine, I guess I'll do an Irish
Spring. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
It's like, it tastes like Sunny D.
Or a 7 and 7, maybe. I don't know. It does taste like Sunny D. That's really good.
Totally does.
So one night at Richards, Matt and I are sitting there, and this guy comes up to, and the details are a little hazy at this point, but I just remember I end up sitting at a table with, across the table from this dude, and he's like super jacked.
Yeah.
Like military cut, just
totally yoked.
like a fuck you up machine.
Like not like a John Hernandez, like cool looking jacked guy.
No, like a military jacked dude.
Okay.
He's a beef castle.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Total beef
A
castle.
2-story beef castle.
Yeah.
A Grillsmen beef castle.
And he was talking about doing jujitsu and how he like won these championships or whatever. But and then so his sister or somebody sits down next to him, and she's like if, man, and I mean this in the most lovable way, but if you could personify Miss Piggy, like the hot Miss Piggy, not the nasty Miss Piggy, like the
I know
hot
what you
side
mean.
of Miss
I
Piggy.
know what you mean.
Okay.
And she was crying and he was crying, and she went into this long diatribe about how she lost her baby, and she was
Oh
at
my
the
God.
bar getting, she was at the
God.
bar getting fucked up like the next night and all this shit. And it's like,
Wait, was this the next night?
Yeah, I
so
guess the night
think
after.
so.
Oh
if my
my
memory
God.
serves me correctly, and I'm sure Matt will text me and be like, "No, it wasn't. You fucking asshole. It was like 2 years ago." But yeah, like
That's so dark.
we got drawn into this conversation, and Matt just kept looking at me like, "Why'd you have to say hi?
Right?
Why
Why'd you do it?"
It was so fucked
So-
up.
He doesn't even have to fucking say it, but he just gives you that look,
Yeah,
and
that
you're
was
just
like,
like,
dude, you don't need to do this.
I'm gonna start giving people the cold shoulder.
Dude, you need to. I think you need to.
It's weird though, because I'm very friendly to strangers, like complete strangers. But if I see someone I know in public, I do my best to avoid
Dude,
them.
Yep.
I
I'll
did
do
that
that.
today at lunch. We went to lunch together today.
Right?
And I walk. You ever do this? Like you go to a restaurant and then like you're getting seated and then you see someone you know, but like you're not like homies, so you don't say anything.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, but you noted they caught your eye and you go, God damn it.
you know that human, whether
Yeah.
through association
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever. and you're
Today
just like,
it was a girl I used to work with at Half Price Books. I worked with her for a long time. I know her name. I know her girlfriend. I've babysat their cats. Saw her in the eye. I'm not going to say anything because she was in a group. She was already doing her thing.
Yeah.
And that's what is different from me and you and Kellen than the dude who came, the muscle bound jacked Grillsmen bro,
Right.
is I know well enough to go, cool. I'm not gonna confront you because I don't fucking. I mean, I know, but if I was that guy, I wouldn't be like, oh, that guy, he shook his head at me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna go talk to him.
Yeah.
I've got to.
I got to, man.
It's
Yeah.
always a huge mistake.
No.
and like I said, like if no offense, but if I were to like see you at Speakeasy, I would like my instinct would be to heel turn and go and like walk away quickly, like clenching my ass cheeks together.
Yeah, I used to make I used to make an effort of like if I, especially at Speakeasy, because I worked there, still work there, in ways that if anybody I knew, like I mean Kellen obviously, I make a point to go, hey man, how's it going? That's it.
That's all
I'm
you
not
need.
gonna hang out with you. I'm
That's
not
all
gonna,
you need.
I'm not gonna interrupt your conversation. Say, hey man, what's up?
It's a simple what's up. And I mean, there will be nights where like Josh and I will be hanging out there and it's like we'll sit on opposite ends of the bar and just chill because maybe it's just one of those days where all I want to do is sit and drink PBR and look at my phone.
Yeah.
Like I just have some of those days.
But there's also times we've done that on other ends of the bar and then be like, hey man, what's up? Hey, how's it going? And then we'll start talking and then we'll talk there's like 5 stools between us. And then eventually it's like, fuck it, let's just fucking hang out.
Yeah.
Because you're still doing the thing of like, maybe I still want to hang out by myself. Fuck it, he's here. Let's just hang out.
Yeah.
The conversation's good. Just keep talking.
Why not?
I think it's like a weird primordial mating ritual, like in the most hetero way possible, you know.
I mean, that's what
or
the bar,
whatever.
That's what the bar is. The bar is the watering hole of the Serengeti for animals, for humans. That's, I mean, you see it as like a patron. Like you've been there back in the day when it's like super busy. You just see those like just roided up bros just trying to get ass.
Yes, they were. I mean, it was animals. It was slovenly. To a point. I mean, you know, being there at 11:30 on a Wednesday, and they're just frothing at the mouth.
Yep.
You know. Meanwhile, I'm talking to like Josh and like Greg and Mike and Phil and Trey, just shooting the shit.
Yeah, this guy's just trying real hard to get a piece of ass at 11:30 on a Wednesday.
But there's really not much difference in that. And let's say 10 years ago, when we were pretty much doing the same thing at the Electro Lounge.
But
Electro.
Right.
Why'd you have to say it?
I did bad things there.
I did bad things.
I made bad decisions.
I saw a bad thing happen there, and I still think it's one of the cool. Even as the age difference is totally different now that I'm 34. Okay, so I went there back in the day on the it was pre-Robotic Wednesdays when we would just go up there and have drinks when it was still just a bar before it was whatever. Of course. So we would go up there on like Monday nights and get some cocktails, whatever, hang out. And Neil, do you remember Neil?
Hamburger?
We'll call him Neil Hamburger, sure.
Yeah.
Matt's cousin Neil?
I know who it is.
Okay, Neil Hamburger. Neil Hamburger.
What's his address?
Neil Hamburger's address, 112224445, whatever. He's at the bar, and this older lady hits on him, hardcore.
Okay.
And they skip off. I'm like, where the hell did they go?
I was there.
You were
that
there?
night.
And my
Yeah.
buddy goes, I think they went to the bathroom. So we went to the women's bathroom, and he's having relations with this. She was 31. And we were 21 at the time, and I thought, like, dude, that's awesome, a MILF.
A MILF.
Cougar. I'm 34 now, I'm like, she's still young.
Yeah,
that's a young woman.
She had a lot of her life ahead of her.
But that's basically what happened there. Like, a lot of crazy shit went down at Electro, especially in the bathrooms.
Yes.
I have a quick Electro story, but go ahead.
Please. I mean, I have so many Electro stories. One of them actually involves the creation of the radio show that I did on The Spy.
Oh.
Forever ago. So I graduate college in 2008, and for my 21st birthday, which was 2005, I decide that it's on a Wednesday, and we go to Robotic Wednesday, like the following Wednesday. And so we go, and I'm like, this is awesome, and I start hanging out there, and all of a sudden, like a couple of years later, I graduate, and I meet Ferris O'Brien because he is doing what was Spy Night there, and so that was like kind of like 80s, 90s, aughts, like kind of like Ferris's own very unique taste in music that everyone in Oklahoma knows by now.
Yeah, spinning cool shit.
Right, really cool shit, and like really like up to date, kind of like British rock, which was what I was really into at the time, like Libertines, Strokes, or not Strokes, the Kooks, the Maccabees, Future Heads, bands like that. And so we started talking one night when he was up in the DJ booth, and he was like, hey, yeah, why don't you come see me, you know, like spin every Friday, and we'll just like chit chat and drink and stuff like that. And so we start becoming friends. I start playing in like a band here or there just for fun, and we keep talking about music. And I reconnect with one of my buddies from college, Bo Blackstock, and he starts getting me into collecting vinyl records. And so we start to room together because our other rooming situations kind of fell apart. And we collect these records, and I go out. I just text him one night because Bo and I are sitting around late at night, and I was like, man, we have a lot of records. And The Spy is back on the air, just on the internet at least. And I was like, we should see if we can do a show. And he was like, well, do you know Ferris? And I was like, let me text him. So text him. I'm like, hey, my roommate and I have an idea for a show where we're going to do recent music and music from like, the aughts, the 90s, the 80s, blah, blah, blah. But it's just going to be all vinyl. He was like, okay, cut me a demo, hour long, send it. I'll listen to it, and then I'll get back to you. We were like, cool. So we cut a demo. We send it to him. He listens to it, messages us back. He's like, great. You guys have Tuesdays from 7 to 9. And we did it for 4 years.
That's awesome.
That's right. That's like the thing, and you've been in band. We've all been in bands.
Right.
That's like a
professional musicians.
Yes.
Well,
we've been on the pro road.
He's been on the pro road. That's the thing I talked to you about at lunch today. I'm going to bring up here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, hold on. So the cutting a demo thing for the or for the getting a thing, that's like a band cutting a demo. Well, cut it a demo, and we'll see what you sound like. If we like it, then you get a job.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, though. So did you guys, you made like an hour-long show?
Yeah, so we made an hour-long show. Oh, and the program was called Audacity. That's what it was called. The recording program.
Yeah, I remember Audacity.
Yeah.
You're thinking he meant the radio program was called Audacity, right? Which would also be good.
Yeah.
He's talking about the program they edited in.
Oh, that's what. Well, you get.
Cut.
Yeah, it's a totally free. It's super easy to use.
Open source.
Well, we were asking before we cut the demo. We were like, "What the fuck are we gonna do this on?" It's like if we do it on GarageBand, we're gonna look like dickheads. Like, surely there's something. And Bo is very computer savvy, very smart.
Reaper and Audacity, those are the two.
We had no idea, so we had to ask Katie Wicks.
Mm-hmm.
We Facebook
shout out
Messenger.
Katie Wicks.
Shout out Katie Wicks, Spy Lab, Saturday nights on Spy. But I messaged her and I was like, hey, what do you record on for Spy Lab? And she was like, oh, just Audacity. It's really easy. And we were like, oh. So we downloaded it and cut it like that and just sent him the file. And he got back to us the next day and was like, cool.
That's awesome. So going back to professional musicians, I mean, I wouldn't say you guys were you were kind of professional.
I was very not.
Yeah, but I saw you at the Diamond Ballroom.
PBC, Pretty Black Chains.
That was pretty professional.
Was that the show that you opened for 311?
I hope so. That was like right before South by Southwest when we brought JB out.
And that's what I wanted to bring up with Robbie. Robbie and I have a fondness for 311. Mm-hmm. Deep fondness. Mm-hmm. You have a story about 311 that they were kind of like not cool?
From what my only interaction, and it actually wasn't even with the band, but what happened was we load up the van to take it down there. It was like we had just gotten our new record, I think, Awakening, and so we were like super stoked to, sell it at that show for the first time.
Sure.
And as soon as we get there and we have a sound check, and we don't see the band at all. Because, none of us were like huge fans, but I remember listening to them when I was younger. I respected them. Mm-hmm. I thought it would be cool to just like mingle and interact.
Right.
Nothing.
So they were just like ghosts.
Stonewalled us.
Yeah.
I mean, and they weren't, I wouldn't say they were dicks. It was just like their management and their tour manager was just like, nope.
Were you guys able to like do backstage stuff, or would they keep you out of that as well?
We were backstage for a little bit. We were not allowed in the green room. And then...
That's so weird.
Well, by that time, we were just like, man, that's kind of a bummer. And like, we got like free water and like a couple free beers. But after that, it was like, had to go back there and like buy fucking Pringles like everybody else.
Do you think maybe it was because they were fucking so stoned that they were paranoid to let anybody else in their green room?
Possibly. I mean, they might be into some conspiracy shit I don't even know about.
True. Yeah.
Dark Knight satellites and shit.
Well, and they like aliens.
They do love aliens.
They like aliens. They like transistors. They like Mars. They like Mars. They like tranquility, unity.
Mars
Volta.
Mars Volta.
Ooh, dude. Yes.
So yeah, yes. I remember seeing Pretty Black Chains at the Diamond, and I don't know if did we see them open for 3? Did we see?
Yes, we did. We went to that show together.
I think we also opened for Minus the Bear there.
You did do that too.
I might have went to that also. I know I've seen Minus the Bear before, but I don't know
what a terrible fit that show was.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
just not optimal.
No, not at all. We did it anyways. Of course, we'll take what we can get, and of course, playing in front of a huge crowd like that, yeah, super thankful.
What happened at that
Not
show?
a great match.
I don't think I was. I
mean, just
but
like
you guys, the 311 show. Not to interrupt you, I was really confused to see that they Pretty Black Chains open for 311. That's weird. Like, I know the guys probably do other stuff, but
yeah, but that's more like, I can see that more than Minus the Bear.
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Me too. And I mean, yeah, we meshed a lot better with 311, and then of course we had some other shows. We opened for Three Doors Down.
Oh, hell yeah.
At the Brady one time.
Yeah.
That was actually super tight. That show sold out, obviously not because of us. Very few people were into us. Very, extremely few. But it was kind of cool to walk out on that stage on the Brady and see it completely full.
Yeah.
That was a scary moment.
Oh, I bet.
Like actually walking out on stage and being like, we're on stage at the Brady Theater and I don't see an empty seat.
Yeah.
And none of it is for us.
And it's not like a venue where you're just looking down, like you look up and like, oh shit, there's people up
Yeah,
here.
they're stacked.
Just completely stacked. Did not hear a note of Three Doors Down at all.
Yeah.
But there was another band who was like kind of on that cat like metal thing, and like they had a song called Porn Star Dancer. They're Canadian. I cannot remember the band.
Porn Star Dancer.
Yeah.
It's a sweet
Porn
name.
Star Dancer.
Hold on, you want to do a little moment?
Yes.
We'll play a little moment of Porn Star Dancer.
Okay, that was Porn Star Dancer. Bye.
Okay.
Anyways.
We're going to put a little dip in.
Yes. Okay, so and so we see these guys and they're dressed, you know, it's just very like Velvet Revolver, just
like
totally
just like
just
a
skin tight, just like, you know, like the metal kid who's just like a beanpole, but he could play the guitar really well, and then all of a sudden somebody dresses him like awesome, does his hair really cool.
But he got like that t-shirt, but the neck's cut out and the sleeves are cut down the pit, but like
yeah.
leather pants and like 5 chains and like wrist jewelry for days.
So we didn't we caught that song and they had like girls up on stage dancing with them, and we were like, all right, like whatever. And so they get off stage and they are the nicest dudes. We end up hanging out with them like all night at the venue. We left for Oklahoma City at like 12:30 or 1 a.m. just because we were hanging out with those dudes, and they were so sweet and super genuine. And they were like, yeah, we just had this single just kind of take off, and you know, here we are on the road with Three Doors Down. What do you guys do? And we're just like, I did not expect this.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder shows like that, like Austin Tackett and I went to Rocklahoma a couple years ago. We got 2 free passes, so we're like, fuck it, let's go. We just went for one day, and we saw a band which I had never heard of before called Motionless in White, and they're like I don't want to say crabcore, but they're kind of one of those bands.
Yeah.
They're like super fast. They got like breakdowns. Yeah, but they all kind of dress like. Have you seen what Nikki Sixx looks like now?
Yeah.
No.
He's like, he still kind of looks the same as he always has, but like in like a modern, like, it looks like he could be an extra on Mad Max or something.
Like Black Veil Bridesy
yes,
kind of
like
thing.
that.
Okay.
Like the dudes that wear like the half Boy George makeup, but it's in like a weird gothy way.
Like the football player black over and under the eyes.
And he's got some accessory shit going on.
A lot of
accessories.
Yeah.
And
pauldrons. He has pauldrons.
they use a lot of like black makeup and then like baby powder all over themselves, so they look like Skinny Puppy or something. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
They're like a kind of goth industrial looking.
Okay.
But it always made me wonder, like, what are they like right before they go on stage? Like, are they sitting around like on their cell phones dressed like that, like nothing's going on?
The answer has to be yes.
Like texting their wives or girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever, being like,
hey babe, love you.
Yeah, love you. Where are the dogs? The dogs okay? Okay.
They're just playing Words with Friends.
Yeah, we're just playing Words with Friends.
They're like, honey, you turned your flat iron off, right?
I've been worried about it all day.
So yeah, I wonder things like that. And
what was the crowd like?
For Oklahoma?
Yeah, I've always been curious.
Dude, I feel like in this episode I'm coming off as such a fucking asshole, but
was it a lot of river runoff?
It was river runoff.
Really?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Woo! I like how that term has just been like accepted.
It's a thing. It's a thing now.
Well,
I totally know what you're talking about. Like the other day, 2 Fridays ago, I was off work, so I had like a Robbie day. I drove around the city and I did a bunch of things I needed to do. I didn't like have a schedule. Well, one of the things I did, because I was out in Midwest City actually, oddly enough, and I drove out down Douglas Boulevard to Draper.
Oh.
And I drove around the lake and I got out at like a camping area, and there was no one around. It was completely dead. It was like really hot outside.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to like explore. So I'm walking down to like the lake through not woods, but like an overgrown trail.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I thought about river runoff because when I got to the bank, it was just like a good like foot to foot and a half of like trash foam.
Yeah.
Like Subway cups and like a Bud Light bottle, a pack of cigarettes, like a burrito wrapper, and then like green and brown foam.
It just
Accumulated.
Random foam.
Yeah, accumulated.
So if I could sum up Rocklahoma's crowd, I would say random foam.
Okay.
River
Okay.
runoff.
It was weird
With a
man.
mix of that brown goopy water.
Yeah.
It was tight though because
Corn.
I got free. Damn it! You stepped on.
I'm sorry.
You stepped on my corn.
I stepped on your corn.
We had a media pass, so I waved to corn.
Tight.
It was cool. I waved to two guys from corn.
What you should have done was use that media pass to fucking like shake the hand of the man who wrote hits like "Got the Life."
Well, I didn't see the singer,
I
unfortunately.
had "Got the Life" stuck in my head today, actually.
Yeah.
It's
song.
really weird that's brought up. And also, when we were doing, I think, a summer episode of You're Welcome, recording at Guest Room Records, somebody, I think Trey Millward, was just grabbing a Korn CD to be funny. With the one with the girl playing hopscotch on the front.
Oh yeah,
Follow the Leader.
Follow the Leader.
Yeah.
He grabs Follow the Leader, right? Opens it, and it's like a $6 used version of it. Opens it. It's fucking signed by every member of Korn.
Dude.
Not kidding.
You
It's-
bought it.
No, it's probably still there. We
Where
were
at?
like, dude, you have to buy it. Guest Room Records, Oklahoma City.
On Western.
Yep.
I know what I'm getting Austin for
Dude,
Christmas.
you want to go there tomorrow? Go check it out. See if it's still
Yeah.
there.
Like
I'll go in house with you for it.
I was
I'll put in 3.
fucking shocked. Like we were laughing so hard. It was just one of those things, dude. Like, it just randomly happened.
That's
We were just
hilarious.
like, wow.
When we were in high school, my good friend Wes, he had one of those like massive CD books.
Yeah.
Like the 400
Hell yeah.
disc books. And he had a Stained CD, the very first Stained CD, and it was signed by all
Dysfunction.
of Stained. Believe saw them at the Tower Theater, perhaps the Diamond Ballroom, but that was like a prized possession
Damn.
of his for a while. He was the kind of guy that would put like concert tickets like behind the liner notes.
Oh, yeah.
Like saw that band,
I've been
I
there.
can file that away.
Yeah.
It's great. No, it's a great
totally
memory.
cool. Yeah, and I mean, I wish I still had all the
Or like
tickets to the show.
or a sticker you bought or something. Yeah.
I throw all my concert tickets in the shoebox over in the corner over here.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Dinah does that too.
Dude, it's so
I
cringe.
really wish I would have done that. Like I don't at all, and she still does. Like she does this thing too, where she keeps she wants to get a set list. She's way into that, and I never thought about doing that. Because she's like, I've been doing this shit forever. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. So she'll go to like grab set list, and there was one time we had to go see Reggie in the Full Effect, and
Nice.
in Dallas like last year, and it was a super like this club was so small. It was smaller than
Dada?
dude. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was tiny as shit. So she's like, oh, that's right there. I'm just gonna grab it, and the security guard like grabbed her arm like manhandled. She's like, whoa. And she was like, what are you doing? She's like, getting the set list. You could have asked. She's like, just give me the goddamn set list. So she's got
Lame.
like all these different set lists. We got one from Smoking Popes that's on like cardboard. It's just kind of cool. But I wish, going back to that, I wish I would have kept stubs from shows, although it may have been just cringe. It would have been like MXPX, 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 NoFX, Blink-182, blah, blah, blah. Like just
Right.
the same. I keep going to the same fucking shows. You know
It's
what I mean?
not a bad thing if you like what you like, dude.
Exactly, man.
I
And,
guess.
and you like pop punk. There is
I
nothing in
do.
the fucking world wrong with
I
that.
really
No,
do.
not at all.
Speaking of, I want to go to that goddamn Blink-182 show, but I don't want to spend $200 to go see them on the floor. I will not pay for nosebleed tickets to see Blink-182. I'm not going to do it.
At the Chesapeake, no less.
I ain't paying
At the peak.
I paid $150 for floor seats to the Boss. That's worthy of $150.
I don't even know if that is.
Blink with Matt Skiba, which granted for me, that's like a fucking cream dream. That's a Mod Podge of like jerk off material. Like Blink and Trio together, that's just awesome. And I know everyone hate me, but like I said in the last episode, I listened to Lit in high school, so I listened to a lot of shitty music.
Dude, no, everyone listened to Lit. It's fine. Lit was fun.
Did you have all of their albums? Literally all of their albums?
No.
I did. So I'm a bad person.
I paid like, it was me and a few buddies bought Drake floor seats. I think it was 100 something.
Drake.
Worth it?
Yeah, definitely. It was fun. I actually had not heard one note of Drake when we went, and it was on his Take Care tour.
I've never been to a hip hop show.
Yeah.
How are hip hop shows?
It was cool. Everyone was pretty, cordial. Everyone was just there for the music and just into it. A$AP Rocky was the opener.
Where was it at?
Chesapeake.
Okay, so were you on the floor? Were you nosebleedy?
We were on the floor.
Okay.
We were on the floor.
So were the people like dancing, like hopping? Was
No. Everybody was dancing. It was just fun, but everybody kind of like stayed in their seats. Like no one was going crazy or anything like that. It was just a good time. People were just getting down, and A$AP Rocky was awesome. It was like right when his mixtape came out. That first one that kind of blew him up. And then we were like, oh man, A$AP was awesome. That's like who I was like really there for. It's like I was stoked for A$AP. I hadn't really listened to Drake, and I was like, cool, A$AP, awesome. Let's go get a drink at the bar, because they didn't have people walking around selling drinks or anything like that.
That bar, that downstairs bar, you go to the back in the corner, and it's like private bar?
It was no. It was like the Jack Daniels Club.
Oh,
yeah.
They haven't opened that. So there's a new bar down there and it's the shit.
Really?
Yeah, on the floor. It's
Dude. Awesome. Well, we went up there to get a drink, and we were like, oh, well, wait, who's the guy before Drake? Some dude named Kendrick Lamar. Never heard of him. Let's just go get a drink.
What?
Fuck that one up, guys.
Did you skip Kendrick
Kendrick
Lamar
for
a Miller Lite?
Yeah, we skipped Kendrick Lamar. No, actually,
for a $7 Bud Light at the
skipped Kendrick Lamar for a Bud Diesel. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, fuck that one up, guys.
Yeah.
I
fully admit.
I haven't been to too many hip hop shows. They've always been part of something.
Yeah.
Like South by, saw some there.
Yeah. I've seen JB and Salih quite a bit.
Yeah,
that counts. That counts.
Yeah, sure, I guess it counts.
It's local-ish.
I ain't gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate.
I think
they're dudes doing the best they can.
But I will say I've never seen them like on a hip hop bill. Like I've never seen them on a purely hip hop bill.
I've seen. I can say this. I've seen both of those dudes at my place of employment while I'm tending bar. Jabi's done shit at my bar. Salih's done shit at my bar, and they're fucking awesome. They're great shows. It seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, people
get way the hell into it.
People are definitely fucking into it.
But I want to see I want to go to like a legit hip hop punk. You know what I mean? Like a punk rock style hip hop show.
Yeah,
like a show that's just like in a place like the Shop. You know what I mean? Like a small
getting the fuck down
in a small sweaty ass spot.
I want to see those. Not that I want to see those. I want to see an atmosphere like those videos you see on like hood clips on Instagram, where it's just like people like dancing against each other violently. Like I don't know what that dancing is called, but like the woman's basically like
daggering.
Yeah, that's it.
Daggering.
That's it. That's totally it. I want to see daggering in person. I don't want to dagger. I just want to see daggering.
You want to view it. You want to be a spectator.
It's like fighting. It's like anything else. I don't want to do it. I just want to see it.
Real violent.
Yeah, just like jumping off the stage onto a dick.
Aggressive dry humping in public.
I feel like the first time, did you guys see the video for Major Laser's Pon de Floor?
No.
That was the first time I had ever heard of or seen daggering. And the video for it is very Tim and Eric.
Wait a minute. I've seen that.
Yeah, and he like jumps off of a ladder onto a chick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking wacky.
It's like, I'm a tender boy.
Yeah.
I would hurt myself if I tried to dagger anyone.
Yep.
Small, big, whatever.
Oh, I'm a huge pussy. I would be broken. I would be broken.
I'm going to have to Google daggering. I have no idea what that is.
Can you explain daggering?
I'm excited for you. I don't know if I can.
Right?
I really can't.
I'm out of the loop. I was talking about this today with Trey and Pip, also Speakeasy boys. Well, kind of. Dat boy, I don't know what the fuck I'm so far out of the loop with memes and shit. I have no idea the context for shit that's out now. Like, it's not that I'm too old, it's just that I just don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a frog on a unicycle.
I don't know. What does that mean though?
Nothing.
Yeah, doesn't mean anything. Yeah. That's. I think that's the point.
That was the first like internet meme that I felt like, oh shit, I'm losing grasp.
That's mine too. Like, I have no idea what's going on.
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know anymore.
Yeah.
And my job is the internet. And I was just like, what?
I'm like, what does this mean? It's okay. First, I thought it was like a Donald Trump thing because it kind of rose to popularity, much like Donald Trump. And I just like, I was like, oh, maybe it's like a Trump meme. And then I was like, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
But then I kept seeing it. I was like, no, this is.
But it's a
own thing.
meme that means nothing. It's Dat Boy. Oh, hey, it's Dat Boy. That's
It's
the
like-
whole fucking thing.
It's like, here comes that boy.
Oh shit, what up?
Yeah, and it's
and
like
it's
a frog.
on a
unicycle.
unicycle.
Yeah.
That means nothing.
You know what's going to be great is there are going to be kids who are like 18 or 19 who will listen to this and just be like, these dudes are fucking old as shit.
They have no idea
Yeah.
what Dat Boy means.
It's weird, Kellen. Like when I was young, I'm 35 now. When I was, 18, 19 years old, 35 was fucking dad.
Dude,
fucking
ancient.
dad. Yeah.
Ancient.
But
yeah, old as fuck.
I don't feel like that now.
No.
I mean, my body is slowly falling apart.
Yeah.
And I hate to sound like a hack comedian, but like it's true. Like things just hurt sometimes and they will hurt. Like my right wrist last week, I built a lot of furniture, like IKEA style.
Yeah.
And dude, my right wrist just pulsated
like,
for like
fuck.
3 days afterwards.
Robbie, have you had this thought? Kellen, have you had this thought? Do you ever have that where you deal with like you have a chronic pain, like, it's fine, it'll go away. And the thought comes to you like, have I always felt this pain? And I'm just now old enough to realize I have this pain? Or is it just something that just hits you and like, now your body's falling the fuck apart?
Yeah, and you just been like tuning it out forever.
Yeah, like I have chronic shoulder
good
pain that
point.
never fucking goes away. I'll get a massage and it feels great for a week and then it comes back to being shitty again. Is it that I'm old and my shoulder just sucks now from playing in bands and lifting kegs and doing all this other shit, jerking off? I'm aggressive jerker.
You're just daggering yourself.
Violent, yeah. Dude, there you go. You're well on your way to daggering.
Or have I always just distressed? I mean, I've partied a lot. I've fallen off of roofs. I've skateboarded. I've ridden bicycles. I've ridden motorcycles. Like, is it just like time taking its toll? Like, you've been treating this container, because that's all it is. We're a container.
Yeah.
You've been treating this container like shit, and now you're reaping like it's. Chickens come home to roost, man.
You're reaping. Yeah, you reap what you sow.
Oh, it's
For
so terrible.
sure.
So kids, don't fucking black out drunk and fall downstairs. Don't do that.
No, do that, but make sure you go exercise. How about that?
Yes.
Sure. Let's just do that.
Don't get in a car wreck where the car flips over 5 times and then don't go to a hospital.
And you know what? Like the big lesson for the kids today, just stop being a pussy and like being mad about shit on the internet like all day. Stop, man.
That's true.
Just go have fun.
That's exactly
true. You can
true.
have your opinions, but just shut the fuck up. Just go have fun because you're ruining your 20s. You're ruining them.
No, you're ruining your life. It's not even 20s. Like, it's like teenagers. I totally fucking agree with you on
just
that.
turn into a little bitch.
I'm taking it back all the way back to this. I have my nephew is 6, going on 7. My niece is like 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I take them to like parks,
Right.
and they live in Bow City, so I take them to the parks that I used to go to. My grandpa took me to park. He lived in Bow City, and the parks are not the same anymore. It's this styrofoam. It looks like gravel and wood, but it's like this foamy material. And there's no metal anymore. Like, it's all plastic and everything's like, there's foam around the edges of things so you don't hurt yourself. Don't fall off the slide. The slide is wide enough. You're not going to fall off of it. You're not going to get burnt on the... Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the point of going... the sun has to bake that slide to like 120 degrees.
Absolutely.
Basically like a cookie, like a wavy cookie sheet.
Yeah.
And you got to stop halfway down, and your shirt's got to pull up, and that sun goes on the back, or like you burn your elbows on it. Like, that shit has to happen.
And that shit has to be like in everything else that's constructed around the slide, like the monkey bars, the tire swing, like getting up to the fucking slide has to be made of splintery, shitty ass wood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dangerous.
Or like old rotting metal that has like a red layer of paint, then a blue layer of paint, and it's like chipping off and it's getting in your mouth.
Yes. And remember, like when we were kids, where like
The old podcast.
you had monkey bars,
Yeah.
for the longest time, and then when they installed like the little fucking hanging rings, like the rings,
Yeah.
it blew
Yeah.
your mind. You were like, holy shit, dude, I don't know if I can do this.
Next level shit.
Yeah. It was like-
or we try to skip them. Or I would do the thing, and I would climb on top of the monkey bars and not even use them as like,
Oh yeah.
you just sit on top of the monkey bars and hang out
Nice.
and you talk.
When I was in elementary school, the last year I was in elementary school before I went to middle school, they installed one of those, like imagine like a jungle gym, but it was the magic carpet.
Yeah.
So it was shaped like a
Sure,
huge
yeah, it was-
magic
it was
carpet.
wavy, yeah.
But it was all like a skeletal structure.
Right.
And I dared this fat kid named Drew to jump off of it. It was like the last day of school before summer.
You're like, yeah.
I was like, he was doing that classic Drew thing where he would hang upside down off of the top of the magic carpet,
Yeah.
like he'd hook his knees over the top of the bar.
Classic.
And I dared him to try to classic Drew.
Yeah.
I dared him to try to flip off and land on his feet. And I didn't just dare him myself. It was like me
Whoa,
and a
you
kid
mean like
named Chris.
stand on the bars and backflip off of it.
No, like hang like a bat
And
Yeah.
then just
at
like
the knees.
swing yourself.
Swing.
Like,
Without using your hands?
yeah.
Right.
Dude,
So-
that's asking for danger, dude.
So swing until you get enough inertia to like somehow shoot out of it.
No, you're going to fall flat on your face.
Well, he did it. Me and a kid named Chris and a couple other kids.
I already know where this is going.
We
That's
were like egging him on. We were like, "Do it, Drew! You can do it! Classic Drew! Oh,
Instigator.
there's Drew. Drew's doing it.
You're the man, Drew.
He's doing it.
You're a legend.
And so he does it, and he doesn't even make it like a quarter of a flip, and he lands like put your elbow.
No, don't do it.
Put your elbow in your own sternum and stick your hand straight out. He landed like that. And I saw his arm just fold like a card table.
Oh, God damn it. I hate that shit.
And he let out the scream that could best be described as a baby goat.
Just
It was like this. Here, I'm gonna try it. He's like,
and then he just blacks out from like blinding pain mixed with the adrenaline trying to cope with it.
Yeah.
He's just gone.
no, even better. He stood up and he was holding his arm where it meets his elbow.
But there's bone. Is there bone sticking out of
It
it?
wasn't. No, there was no penetration. But he held his arm up and he goes, guys, I think I broke my arm, and it looked like a fucking easy chair, like the. You know, on a car, like the recline setting, you know,
Yeah.
the little icon, it looked like that, like a Z.
It looked like a kindergartner tried to draw an arm,
Yes.
basically.
He's like, I think it's broken. Should I go tell the teacher?
Yes,
And we're
you
like,
should.
Dude,
Go.
fucking playgrounds, they just root kids out. You know why? Because, you know, like secretly, like all these awesome obstacles that we had growing up on playgrounds as a kid, you think, holy shit, I knew this was a ninja school. We're about to become fucking ninjas.
Ninjas, yeah, training.
Drew didn't make it.
Didn't make the cut,
Didn't
dude.
make the cut.
Wonder what Drew's doing now. I hope he hears this.
Hope that
Reach
arm,
out
hope
to
that
us,
arm
Drew.
kept up.
Reach out on the love line.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I think you're right, Josh. Like it sounds so hack, but like the pussification of everything. It's
Yes.
like, why so offended about everything, and why does our little opinions sitting in this room tonight? Like we all know they don't really matter,
No.
and like I can get mad about things, but there's certain people in the world. Today I was following a guy home from work. Wait, that sounded creepy. I was behind a guy. And
I was telling this guy right for like miles.
I followed this guy home from work today. He was going home to his wife and his kids. I was going to kill him. But no, I happened to be behind this guy.
Sorry for that Roseanne laugh.
I happened to be behind this guy driving home, and I just happened to be going the same route for like a good 10 minutes. And why is the angry white trash with like the bad buzz cut and the ICP shirt, why are they always in a fucking champagne colored Crown Victoria with black hubcaps?
Yep.
Anyways,
I just want to Google that now.
we will. We're gonna take a break in just a second, and
Sure.
we have to Google it because I want to know. I want to be verified in this.
Juggalo Crown Victoria.
Yeah. But
Juggalo Crown Vic.
so I'm in the left lane, and then he's in the right lane, and there's a car in the middle lane, and like this car's like not letting the guy over, and I guess he needed over, and so he finally gets over, and he cuts me off, almost causes a wreck, and then I see him just flip off the guy next to him, like angry, and then he like angrily like puffed his cigarette and like blew it out the window. I could see this is all happening right in front of me, and I was like, dude.
Man.
First of all, I immediately slowed down because I'm a pussy. I was like, nope, I'm going to create
Yeah.
space.
Some space between
Here
them.
I go.
But my thing is like,
Whoa.
to be that guy
Yeah.
and to have this like halo of bad energy
Yeah.
and bullshit around you at all times. Like no one wants to be around you. Your wife doesn't want to fuck you. Like your kids don't want to be around you. You're just a smelly person. You're just a bad person.
Yeah.
You're just a fucked to death pile of burning shit.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, does he know that? Do I know when I'm being an asshole? Does he know when he's being an asshole?
I think that's just who he's been since grade school. He was that asshole on the playground who's like pushing kids over and calling kids fat and like
daring them to jump off
daring him to
magic
jump off
carpets?
the magic carpet. Or he's
Well, I mean, maybe it just comes down to, I mean, and I don't know. I had amazing parents. I didn't have any siblings, but like my home life was awesome. Maybe he had a different home life to where his perception of his own reality was so different in the fact that, that's how he has to assert. Like people assert their dominance in different ways, and maybe how he asserts his dominance in the alpha male fashion is anger and acting out like that, whereas somebody else might do it through, being clever and funny, and somebody else might do it through, athletic ability, and this person might do it through making awesome cocktails.
Or maybe he's just a fucking asshole.
Right. That's what it comes down to. He might be just a fucking asshole.
This episode of Boys is brought to you by FatBison.com. Fat Bison Workshop is a tattooed guy in the middle of nowhere who makes custom hand-carved hardwood signs built to order. Mention the Boys podcast and get free shipping. FatBison.com. Custom hardwood signs. Bold, simple, naturally beautiful.
Welcome back to Voice Podcast, episode 11.
We're here with Kellen McGugan, and
Hello.
We were speaking of records earlier, and I wanted to show you a gem that I had. Now, you can't take this with you.
Okay, I won't.
But I thought you might be interested in this.
Oh shit, the vinyl of Follow Leader. Now, Rob,
that's not mine.
no, I'm seeing a ring, so that's a dated, that's an old, that's a
man.
vintage find.
This is OG.
That has been
That's
played.
Oh, gee, it's been played.
But credit where credit is due. Guess who owns that? I'll give you two guesses. Two guesses.
Austin Tackett.
No.
3.
I was trying to hold up a W. Wes.
West Sales. That's a West
Yeah,
Sales.
that's Wes's
Dead bodies
vinyl.
everywhere.
Is it colored? Dead
No.
bodies everywhere.
No, it's your traditional classic black vinyl, but
Dude. Wow.
that has been played.
Coca-Cola colored vinyl.
I mean, I've got to say, maybe I'm biased because it was stuck in my head today, but that guitar line from Got to Life was fucking tight. I guess it still is tight because, the song didn't get erased from existence. so-
Exactly. And then we're just carrying on the tradition of talking about Korn on the podcast. I think it's seriously, Kellen, it's been like
Dude,
every episode
it's
Korn
been brought
comes
up,
up.
not by us, but by another. This one obviously was brought up. I guess, was it brought up by us? I don't really know. It happens. Korn 311 or some sort of new metal somewhat.
What would be another good one? Static X.
Dude, I can get down on Wisconsin
Hey.
Death Trip. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yep.
R.I.P.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
he's dead.
Like 5 years ago.
That dude's fucking dead, man.
Okay, so we'll change to another band that around the same era, but I was really super into because they wore it was like super fucked up, like gnarly, mega like spacesuits. Fucking Power Man 5000.
Yeah, dude. Little brother of Rob Zombie.
Worlds collide.
I always have this affinity for bands that like put some effort into what they wear.
Orgy.
Thank
Orgy,
you.
dude.
Yeah.
Orgy was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Saw him on the Family Values tour in '99.
That first record, I still think that. I mean, now it's dated as shit, but for then it was prolific. It was different.
I
guess.
always wanted to be in one of those kind of bands,
Yeah.
like whether it was Orgy or Kiss or whoever. But
A show band like this is.
I was
It's
always
entertainment.
Yeah.
I was always a little too pudgy. Like you can't be that guy in the band that's like the bass player with a little bit of a belly that's still trying to like look like that.
Dude, there was actually a guy in this band. It was kind of like a Brit rock band back in like 2008 that I was really into. They actually never released their record, but if you ask Kurt Freudenberger, he has that record because it got leaked, and so he has it. But the band is Jolene and the Jing Jang Jong.
Okay.
Like really, really good British rock. And their bass player, he was a little bit more of a chubby dude, but like the shit that he wore, like totally fucking pulled it off. He wore like tight black jeans and then like the Chelsea boots, like the Winkle Pickers with a big
Yeah,
heel.
yeah.
And then he would wear like these awesome fucking like trench coats with like a button up shirt. And it would just look so fucking cool.
Even though he was a little husky.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It would look awesome because it would just, he had these awesome coats that were just like so fucking cool. It didn't matter if it was like below zero or like 200 degrees in a venue. It's like he's wearing that and he always look cool.
And there's something to be said for
I
a
dig
guy.
that too, man.
There's something to be said for a guy that's like a little bigger that can like still pull that off.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because I'm like barely bigger, and I don't feel like I could pull that off. You know, I'm cursed just with being a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy.
Well, there's that. There's the showman that can put on like makeup and coats and leather jackets and like studs and all that shit. But there's also something to say about the fat dude who can just go in underwear and play a bass.
You talking
like
about the guy from D4?
Dillinger 4
Yeah,
or Wayne
yeah.
Wedge even. Like there's that kind of thing. Like that takes balls too to like fuck it. I'm just gonna take my shit off.
Well, I mean, and the music will speak for itself.
And it does. And
To the
it
point
does.
where
And it
I
did.
mean, like with with the guy in Jolene,
Mhm.
it was very easy, like super accessible, like Brit rock. But the guy, I mean, he was playing bass, but he played the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So much to the point where you're just like, damn, that guy can fucking play.
See, I've never really given a shit about a dude's like stature or like weight or what he looked like. I've always been more, and you're probably the same guy. Like I know Robbie and I are. Like you go to a show and like if you can get to the front and like there's not a barrier,
Yeah.
check out the gear, see what they got, what are they
course.
playing, and they come out. Like sure, I'm listening to the music because it's fucking great, but I'm also like, oh, that fucking bass line was tight, or oh, that guitar part was tight, or how they did that. A guitar toss or like a guitar spin or
Totally.
like whatever, some weird shit that you like. Your showmanship, what you look like does not fucking matter.
Yeah, if you're a showman, then
At
you just
all.
fucking do it.
Yeah, you're owning that fucking stage.
And you, it's like you're there with a buddy, and something like they do something like fucking awesome like that, and they're like playing to the crowd, and it's like people are eating it up.
Yeah.
And you look to your buddy and you give him the who farted face, like the
yeah.
yeah,
That was awesome.
yeah, the John Mayer guitar solo face.
That
Yeah.
reminds me like when Jake and I went and saw Dinosaur Jr.
What?
at Kane's Ballroom.
Oh,
It was fucking awesome. This is like 2007, I think.
Didn't they just play here?
wait, 2007. So that was right when they put out Beyond.
It was. I have the T-shirt of the cover of Beyond.
That's
that
my favorite Dinosaur Jr. record.
It's a great record. Bought that T-shirt at the show, as I do. I'm a habitual T-shirt buyer.
Hey, dude, nothing wrong with that.
But I remember
Support the band.
we're sitting there and like we got pretty close when Dinosaur Jr. was playing, which was cool, but also terrible because they're so fucking loud, like
Yeah.
ridiculously loud. And speaking of like the who farted face, I turned to Jake and while Jay Mascis is like ripping a solo, and I go, "Dude, boner!" As I'm pointing to Jay Mascis, I'm like, "Why did I say dude boner?"
Why not?
Because I had an air guitar boner going on.
What was okay? The the song that gives me an air guitar boner every single time, and I call it like my college party rock song, is Almost Ready, which is track 1 off of Beyond. When it just like starts with he's just like shredding
Yeah.
like the most shreddable solo.
Yeah, dude. It's beautiful. And what I love about Jay Mascis is he's a shredder.
Yeah.
But it's not the most technical shredding. It's not these crazy arpeggios and tapping. It's just like these sweet like blues licks.
Yeah, just little licks that get people excited. Where, I mean, Jay Mascis, he knows what he's doing. That's the thing. It's like he's not trying to impress you. He's trying to make you have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's why Dinosaur Jr. has stayed around for so long. Like, have you guys heard their new single, Tiny?
No,
that song
not
fucking
yet.
rules. It's awesome.
It's it's cool because seeing him live, it put an end to all the mystique. Because you see the pictures of the dude with like the long silver hair and like
Yeah.
the granny glasses,
Yeah.
and like the beautiful jazz masters. And to see all that, I'm a gear nerd, so to see all that in person and then to just hear this dude fucking rip. And like Lou on the bass plays that Rickenbacker, dude, he's a machine.
Just chugging on it.
But he dresses like a boy who's wearing his dad's clothes. like
They
the
all
long
kind of do.
And now
though.
he's his dad.
right.
Yeah.
He's wearing his own dad clothes of his dad that's also him. I don't know. And what's the drummer's name? Fuck.
I
drummer
can't
from Dinosaur Jr. But he's just like a bald
No one remembers the
chubby
drummer.
dude, but like damn, I feel like such a poser because I can't remember his name, but
Yeah.
he's just like just up there doing work, man. Just hanging
He's the
with
working
the
man's
boys.
drummer.
He really is. The funny thing, but
He's probably a Grillsman.
He is a Grillsman.
being like a gear nerd, I remember seeing Jay Mascis's Jazz Master and the action, the space between the strings and the fretboard. Dude, you could drive a fucking Mack truck under it. I shit you not, like where the body meets the neck, the action was probably like an inch high.
Kidding me?
And I'm like, he rips on that?
Dude, I'm such a fucking pussy. It's like when I'm playing, it's like my strings have to be on the fretboard. Like, have to be.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
a
low
fucking
action for sure.
I'm a snob. Like I am way better at collecting gear and setting up guitars than I am at playing. So like if you play any of my guitars, like the action is super low because I'm so meticulous. Like every string has to be as low as possible.
You're like, all right.
But I'm not even good. Like I can do like a few little things, but yeah, I'm super meticulous. So when I saw his Jazzmaster, I was like, dude, this guy is that good on that? And I mean, it's a beautiful old vintage Jazzmaster. It just played like shit.
I just want to know how he got to that point, to where that action was good for him. And you know, there are stories about, you know, Jay Mascis, like he's kind of a shut-in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you got to think it's just like he probably crushes so much, and his grip is probably so like Herculean
Well, it's
that
like-
he's got to have that action.
It's like what you
Totally.
guys said. Like he shreds, but it's his own kind of way of doing. He doesn't like do crazy fucking leads. They're just like out of his own. They almost feel very like improvised.
Yeah.
like leads. He's really good. By the way, the drummer's name is Emmett Jefferson Patrick Murphy. Murph.
It's Murph. Yeah,
Murph.
Murph the drummer. Murph,
So
Lou,
no one
and
remembers
Jay.
the drummer. Thank you guys.
Sorry. Okay, so have you guys ever gone to a show where you were up at the front and you were really excited, and then 2 songs in you were like, fuck, I need to step back. Like,
Yep.
I need to take a step back.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got one. What's yours?
Well, the first time I realized I can't do pits anymore, it was and it's gonna sound really old because it was a very long time ago. It was when the last time MXPX played here at the Diamond Ballroom in 2002, 3.
Was that the Ever Passing Moment tour?
Yeah, no, it was right after that. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe I was only like
Maybe that
20
was
years
it.
old, and I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I can't do it because like it was a lot of people. Like you're just down there like fuck yeah, like singing along, like pumping your fist, singing along, and then people start getting on you and start feeling sweat on you, and you get that like you're just breathing in. You're not breathing in oxygen. You're breathing the carbon,
Right,
from other
right.
people's breath. Like
Yeah.
so there's like.
That carbon monoxide.
I gotta get the fuck out of here. Gotta get the fuck out of here. Gotta get the fuck out of here. And you leave. You go. I can't do this shit anymore. And then you get older. And then I've tried it. Try to get into pits like that. Well, fuck that. Never mind. Newfound Glory did a show at the conservatory a couple of years ago, and I was definitely in on that shit. Because why the fuck not? But it was all people who were. It's like 4 years ago, so I was like 30. But it was all 30-year-olds, like 25 to 30-year-olds. Just fucking going at it. So that's the thing where like, yeah, you get into
Nice.
it.
Yeah,
But
might as well.
But yeah, I can't. Yeah, there's that. You get to that point where it's like, I can't do that. And then you become the dude in the back who, when you were younger, like, who's that dad in the back just hanging out?
Yeah,
Like,
nice.
no,
Better get
dude,
home.
No, dude, it's hot. There's a fan here. I'm going to stand back here. I can get a beer when I want to get a beer.
I'm close to the bathroom.
Close to the bathroom. I can bounce. I know. I can see when the end of the set is coming. Like, okay.
I can
kinda
beat traffic.
feel it.
I
Yeah.
can just beat the traffic.
The band's always going to be like, all right, we got a couple more for you guys. Great. That means I can down this beer. You're going to do
Awesome.
2 more. And then
I'll
I'm
go
gonna
stand by the door.
stand by the door.
Yep.
You just wait until they're like, thank you, good night. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't stay for encores.
I mean, I do, but I'm definitely right by the door.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm okay with being the guy in the back now. Like,
Well,
I'm
of course.
fine.
Where we stood for the Deftones show is definitely like the Deftones. We stood for, it was the Deftones show.
Right.
The back. We stood right close to the door.
Like you said, you're close to the bar, you're close to the bathroom, you're close to the exit.
I'm not going to go up front. I don't need to smell Chino's balls. I've smelt them before.
You've smelled Chino's balls?
Peppermint
right.
patchouli, man.
oh, all right.
I'm just guessing. If I could guess what his balls smell like, it's a mixture of peppermint patchouli.
Wait, Robbie, what was your like, I gotta step the fuck back show?
Okay. And this was when I was younger, but I went to go see System of a Down at the Diamond Ballroom.
Nice.
And they opened for Slayer. So System of a Down is playing, and also Head PE was opening the show.
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
And
Your sperm count went down a lot that day.
And wait, PE was in like
Planet Earth.
parentheses, right?
Yes. Planet Earth.
Yep. Yeah, it was like HED and then parentheses PE.
Okay.
And they played, it was cool, whatever. Then System of a Down played, who I was there to see. And it was great. It was pretty chaotic. It was very packed.
Was this
Yeah.
for the Toxicity record?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe it was Toxicity. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I'm not a big Slayer fan. Like, I definitely respect the band Slayer.
Sure.
I understand the band Slayer.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm probably never going to see Slayer again. So when System of a Down was playing, I was pretty close to the front. I wasn't like up against the barricade, but I was like, I was probably like, I don't know, 5 to 8 people back from the front. And they quit playing, and whoever was working the show that night, super quick turnaround times, like 10 minutes between bands, 5 to 10 minutes between bands.
Whoa.
Like, pretty
like
awesome.
Backlines?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so System of a Down wrapped up. The crowd thinned a bit. People go piss, get beers, whatever, go smoke cigarettes or whatever. And the first note of the Slayer set rang out, and they busted into Angel of Death. And I shit you not, Kellen, 30 seconds in, I was like, nope, no.
The Slayer crowd is like known for being.
Are they just gnar balls?
Dude, it was just like, I was getting hit with every appendage.
Elbows, fists.
Yeah, within like 10 seconds, I was like, no, not worth it.
No.
So I just went to the back and I sat down.
Dude, it was just a throbbing mass of humans.
It was, yeah.
Dude, I would imagine. I've gone to plenty of. I had a lot of friends who were in the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
Back in like what was it, like 07 or 06 or whatever.
Like 05 to
05.
07.
That
Right.
that crew of like the fucking spin kicks and all that
Yeah.
shit. And I'll go to their shows. I'm like, dude, no, I'm not doing that. I'll go. Tell you what. I'll be by the bar. If you guys want beers, I'll get a beer.
Right.
But I'm not gonna fucking spin. I'm not putting on gym shorts and spin kicking with a bandana around my face. I'm not doing that shit.
I will say that some of the best band names I've ever heard were like hardcore bands, and one specifically from Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if they were hardcore for sure because I didn't listen to too many other songs, but I like them a lot specifically because of their name, Roma Secrets.
Oh, Roma! You don't remember Roma Secrets? Roma Secrets. I thought about this today because someone said I heard on a podcast. Someone said the term Roma, meaning a gypsy. That's what it means. Gypsy Secrets was the name of it. So they were these super young kids, and now they're like 25 maybe.
Ugh, old. Ugh.
But they played this like very not even taking back Sunday, but like email, like clean verses where he's like, I'm gonna talk about my feelings and stuff, and then the chorus gets all like, but I hate you, girl, that kind of shit, that kind of stuff. There's actually a YouTube video of them, their whole set at the fucking Green Door. It's cute. They're because you can see like they're fucking babies, like they're babies.
The kids.
But they were if they would have kept playing music, I'm sure maybe some of them did, they could have gotten really good at doing what they do.
I just remember loving that for
name.
some reason.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's a badass name.
Tied for Second.
Yep.
They're good friends of mine.
The
Tied
Taking
for Second.
State was another
Taking
name.
State, dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So my
Shout out.
So my loud show where I had a holy shit moment was My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, I
Seeing them
bet.
in Dallas about maybe 3 years ago.
That was like the big reunion.
Oh, so you
tour.
just like it's a recent bowing
Yeah,
out.
it was right when MBV had come out. It was that
Okay.
summer, and we went down, got into the pit. We were super stoked. I think New Fumes opened, and of course, everyone who went from Oklahoma were like, "We know that guy," so that was
Yeah.
fun. But when my MBV came on, it was so loud. Like 2 songs in, and there was hardly anybody sitting in the stands, like in this amphitheater, and we were like, let's go back and sit. And so we went back and sat, had earplugs, put them in, and just like laid back in a chair and just enjoyed it. It was amazing. But I was like, I don't know if I could have stood like 2 more songs in that. It was awful.
It's like that feeling when you're standing there and like the back of your pants are like waving in
Yep.
the sound waves, and you can like feel it, which is cool. And I love My Bloody Valentine. I have for a long time, but just turn down, Kevin. Just
You won't.
I know, but did it sound good from up
It
close?
sounded, yes.
Probably sounded better once you went back.
It sounded better
Sure, where it
back,
comes
but
out, yeah.
still, when we were in the pit, it still sounded really good. It was just so fucking loud, like that piercing loud, where it's still loud and it kind of like rumbles your sternum a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like that little frequency that's like just to make it uncomfortable enough to where you're just like, man, fuck.
See, I've always loved that sternum rumble of like a kick drum, like when the kick drum and like it just hits, like
Yep.
it feels fucking good.
I'm gonna I'm not gonna lie. I hate it. I hate the Diamond Ballroom whap 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 kick drum that it just. It's just, it's just like so gated and like fake reverb on it. I fucking hate it, man. Like I'd rather hear it not mic'd. Like
hearing it sucks, but for some reason the feeling feels cool. Like, okay, imagine being like 15. Well, fuck this. Imagine being 13 years old and the band that you love more than anything is playing a venue and they're sound checking and their drummer, who you think is the shit, is just boom, 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 just hitting you in the chest like you're feeling a connection. That was me, 13 MXPX, the fucking Star 7 discotheque.
All right, that's the 7th time you said MXPX.
I know, dude. I fucking love MXPX. I can't deny
Nothing wrong with that.
Anyways,
Nothing wrong with
but that was the first time I went to a show was 13. Like, that's crazy getting dropped off in Midwest City in a fucking shithole part of town back then. Anyways.
What was your first concert? Do you remember?
Ooh, man.
First big concert.
Okay,
Not a show, not a...
First big concert. See, when I grew up, I was listening to a lot of the stuff that my dad gave me. So I was listening to
Britney Spears,
George Strait, listening to a lot of George Strait, a lot of Clint Black,
any Alan Jackson,
Garth. Oh yeah, Neon Rainbow, of course, living that honky tonk dream.
Brooks and Dunn.
Hey,
yeah, definitely.
Can I
Boot
get
Scoot.
your what's your feeling on Chattahoochee?
Oh, way down yonder in Chattanooga. I mean, I know it gets hotter than Hoochie Coochie.
Rape song?
We dissected that song on our last podcast intro. It just came up in conversation, and I feel like it was a rape song.
Well,
here I'm going to repeat myself.
Do it again.
I'm going to repeat myself
because it does. And once you say it, like when you say it just in a sentence, it sounds kind of rapey.
Second verse. So we fogged up the windows of my old Chevy.
Yeah.
I was willing, but she wasn't ready. So I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. I dropped her off early, but I didn't go home. Now, just to paraphrase, did he go drinking with his buddies, or did he roofie her with the grape snow cone,
No.
Lil Wayne style?
Okay.
And then go in there and take care of business.
This is what I think happened. They made out.
Yeah.
It was hot and heavy.
Yeah.
He wanted to go a little bit further, but she was like, maybe we should, get to know each other a little bit better. And he was like, you know what, you're right. And so they went to the burger stand, got a snow cone, and she was like, oh, I better go home. And so he was like, great, took her home, and then immediately he doesn't call. He goes to a payphone, calls his buddies, see where they're at, or he actually knows where his buddies already are. So he just goes out there and just builds a pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight.
That the fuck is exactly what I said,
right.
Kellen. That's what happened. Like, listen, she's not ready. I'm drunk. Let's go hang out. Let's party.
I'm drunk. I'm gonna drive around the Chattahoochee.
Yeah,
Well,
why not?
Hey, it's Tennessee in 19. I'm assuming 79.
Right.
Let's just party, man.
Underlying theme: it's hot as fuck there.
Apparently, it's hot as shit there.
Yeah. Hotter than 8 bitches on a bitch boat, for sure.
But yeah, I grew up, man, 90s country. Big time.
Me too. But
huge.
Then, like my dad, he gave me like the Jimi Hendrix Experience, which is like a greatest hit CD. I got into that, but then my mom was really big into musicals, so I started listening to West Side Story, The King and I, and the first actual I don't even know if you could call it a record. I really fell in love with the soundtrack for The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's how I taught myself how to sing.
Yeah.
So
really,
yeah, I had it on cassette. And
singing the Sally parts, of course, right?
Yeah, no, just Sally. That's it.
Sally.
But I was going, to and from school, and my mom had the tape, and we also had like a Ren and Stimpy tape of like songs that they sang on Ren and Stimpy.
Happy, joy, joy, and the swords.
Oh yeah, I
Log.
mean, all of them. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. But listening to that stuff growing up, but then getting to high school and kind of listening to what my friends are listening to, figuring out that, hey, I might like music. And so my first big show was Incubus at the Ford Center on their Morning View tour.
All right.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's a pretty good
So
show.
that was my big one. And I still, to this day, I think Morning View is a great record.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is,
I
yeah.
love that record.
See, I got into Incubus a little earlier, like Science,
Make Yourself.
Enjoy Incubus, the EP, extended play, and I liked Morning View, and then after that, I took a sharp left.
Yeah,
Just, okay.
me too.
Yeah.
I got what I needed, and no offense.
No, none taken.
Brandon.
I mean, a crow left of the murder was okay. It had some good songs.
I
on
bought
it.
that at Best Buy.
I did too. Yep. When I was in college, my freshman year, I actually I was in a fraternity, and I was doing something, and I was like, "Hey, hang on, I've got to go to no, I didn't go to Best Buy. I bought it at Walmart in Stillwater.
It was a digipack. It had like the fold out.
Yeah, the cardboard.
It was so
digipack.
cool.
You're like, oh man, what the fuck
It was my first digipack.
That song was that song was about George Bush, man.
Megalomaniac?
Yeah.
I'm sure it
That was the height of like rock.
I'm sure.
That was like the rock against Bush era, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, "Fuck politics, man." No effects.
George Bush lined a lot of people's pockets with singing about how much they hated him.
Oh man,
did.
so many bands made a lot of money.
No
after
effects.
Even
that.
British brands got into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Block Party wrote a song on an EP called
Yep.
2 More Years. That
Yeah.
was really, really good.
It was bush rock?
Mhm.
Yeah. It was. They wrote it in 2006, and it was about Bush only having 2 more years left.
Robbie, we should compile a bush rock list for
Like a
Spotify.
playlist, yeah.
A bush rock, and it's everything.
So it first of all, it would be Bush, like a lot of the band.
A lot of Bush, yes.
Basically, you'd have to just dump their entire catalog into the
Yeah,
playlist.
yeah.
And then, No Effects, Block Party.
Yeah.
Every band that was on a Rock Against Bush,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Incubus.
and then Incubus.
There was this band in like 2007 called Loxley that MTV kind of grabbed a hold of. It was very
like Robin of Loxley.
yeah, like
Okay.
Loxley. I mean, it was a cool name, and it was very pre-LSD Beatles, just like kind of fun poppy. It's great. Like it's really super fun to listen to. But they got them on like the Rock the Vote thing on like that campaign. So they were that band that was like, oh yeah, they're like playing croquet on like the presidential like on the lawn for the monument or fucking whatever. But that's how I got into that band, and they were very. I mean, you could tell it was like Obama all the way.
Do they still do the Rock the Vote thing? Is that
No.
still a fucking thing?
I don't think so,
or
yeah.
maybe they do, but it's still I don't know.
It's Dub the Vote now.
Dub the Vote.
Is it? No,
Okay.
but- yeah,
That was really bad.
it's okay though.
Gross.
It's okay.
This is my show. This is our show.
That's what we think about
Hey,
it. That's what we think about
Our
it.
show, bro.
I corrected
But
myself.
I feel like if Rock the Vote, quote unquote, came back, I don't think anyone would participate in it because they would feel like, oh man, this is like such a fucking poser thing to do. Just like everyone's looking out for their image.
Well, not even image. It's about what we were talking about earlier. There's the pussification, and there's a triggered offensiveness to everything. Like,
Right.
well, your guitar tones are triggering my blah blah blah. Dude, fuck off. Like, can we just?
It's very misogynistic and
Yeah.
like cis white male. Like,
Oh, God, don't
fucking
even get me
give
fucking
it a
started.
rest.
but I am a cis white male.
I know.
And that's
No, you're not. You're a fucking white man. That. Sorry, I don't
well,
want to
then
get from
that's
this
what
fucking.
I'm saying. I'm saying that's what I am. Like, and that's that. I don't want to get into all that.
No.
What I do want to get into though, before we wrap up, I did want to ask you about your time in Pretty Black Chains, because, like I said earlier,
Yeah.
I saw you guys at the Diamond, and I didn't know a lot about the band, but I remember like seeing the big video that came out that y'all shot.
Ambulance?
No, Heartbeats for Another.
Oh yeah, Heartbeat. Yeah.
I really like that song. And then
Thanks, man.
seeing you guys, I was like, man, like I didn't know anyone in the band. Like, I know that you guys, being a local band, and you guys are like, you guys know a lot of people. I think we had a lot of mutual friends back then.
We were kind of formed from the ashes of like 2 other bands.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to ask about. Like, I wanted to talk about how did that start, and just if you wouldn't mind, like, we can talk about your time in that band and
Yeah.
just like what happened.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'd love to.
I don't know. Like, one day you guys made a video, and then it was gone, and I was just like, I mean, some time had passed in between that, but I was just curious about your time with that band.
I guess I'll take it from the very beginning. So I graduated college in 2008, and at that time I had started a band with a few of my buddies called the Boom Bang.
I remember the Boom Bang.
Yeah.
I was playing drums in the Boom Bang at the time, and by playing drums I mean I was doing it Jesus Mary Chain style, to where I had a floor tom and a snare and 2 mallets, and I was playing drums like that, and it was a lot of fun. And
Now wait, is that with Tommy?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Tommy and James Smith and Charles Whetstone,
Right.
and yeah, and all those guys, and it
I'm
was-
sorry, my cat's like
No,
rubbing
dude,
his
it's all good.
asshole all
He-
over you.
He wants the story. He wants the scoop. And so, but at that time, we started that band, and it was a lot of fun. We were wearing like black leather jackets
Yeah.
and like all this shit. We were like really into it. And I was a very big fan of the band, The Stock Market Crash.
Oh yeah.
from 2005.
Right.
So like Geology is still probably one of my favorite local records. I say local, I mean, it was just fucking really good. But so I reached out to like, when I was like 20, I reached out to like everybody who was in the band on MySpace, because I found their personal profiles. Like I creeped on them and I added them and I became friends with all of them. And, the band broke up and I became friends with Derek Knowlton, who was the guitar player in that band. And, we were listening to the same music like Mondo Diao and Cut Off Your Hands and The Horrors and bands like that. And we were like really into like the Libertines and Dirty Pretty Things, like very British rock. And, it was one night at Electro, we were drinking. We were like, yeah, we should start a band. Kellen, have you ever sang before? And I was like, no, but I sing. And he was like, okay, well, I mean, it's like, you got good style. It's like, maybe, we could probably do something. And so he comes over to my house the next day. And the next day is like, it's like 2 days from my birthday. And I was like, I want to buy a cool leather jacket. And so I'm like, cool. And I'm sitting on the computer, like looking up leather jackets. And Derek goes over to my roommate at the time, Tyler's rig, like his setup. And he just starts playing. And he's like, hey, dude, grab a guitar. And I'm like, okay. And we end up writing 2 songs that would be on our first LP, or our first EP, one of them being Ambulance. And we were like, holy shit, like we could actually have some fun with this, because
You had that moment where you're like, we might be onto something.
yeah,
here.
we were like, this is kind of cool.
It's a good feeling.
And no one is doing like this jangly, like British rock and roll. No one's doing this here.
Yeah.
So, maybe we can run with it. So Derek immediately texts Chuck, who is Jonathan Martin, the bass player from Stock Market Crash. He's like, hey, I've got this, I think I might have this new thing with this guy Kellen. Do you want to do it? And he's like, yeah, of course. And so we're like, great. And then we bring Chuck in, and over the next like week and a half, we're like playing these songs, just like 2 guitars and a bass, and some like Derek and I are trading off vocals and stuff like that. And we're like, it's a lot of fun. And we're like, man, we could, let's just go for it. Let's find a drummer and let's go for it. And, we're out at Electro one night, and I'm like, Derek, where the fuck are we going to find a drummer? And he's like, cool, tab out. I've got this. And it's like 8:30 at that point. So we tab out and we go to the Starbucks in Nichols Hills. And behind the bar, being like head barista, is Kurt Freudenberger.
Yeah.
And Derek, I guess, knows him just through bands of bands, like through Third Grade Scuffle. And he was like, hey, Kurt, you want to sit in and play with us? And he was like, okay. And Derek just turns to me. He's like, that's how easy it is. Like, we got it. And so we start playing some songs, writing some songs. And we're like, okay, well, it looks like we're actually going to have to play a show sooner or later. And we decide to book our first show at Electro Lounge in like mid-February, maybe like a week after Valentine's Day. And we have no idea how it's going to go. And so we make the flyer, and we're like, or first we have to pick a band name. And we fiddled around with some for like the longest time. And we're in our practice space, and we're like, all right, everybody just write words on little pieces of paper.
Like put them in a hat, like pull them out.
And we're going to pull out 3.
Nice.
And we pulled it out, Pretty Black Chains.
In that order?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then it was meant to be.
Yeah. We were like, okay. So we took that, and we had that show at Electro, and we put, like Pretty Black Chains, and we had pictures taken. We had the Gazette write about us even before we played a show. We were just like, hey, promise it's going to be good.
Right.
And
hopefully.
Yeah. And so we put like, Pretty Black Chains, and then parentheses, very small font, like X Stock Market Crash. And we ended up like packing it the fuck out.
Yeah.
There's actually a video of us playing Ambulance on YouTube at that show.
That was back when it was
They just got the light board and taken out.
but it was 2-level, where there was like but there's still the pool table area.
Yes.
The pool table with the neon or the black light shit on it.
I
so
love-
fucking tight.
Yeah.
I love that.
pool
And
table.
they used to have, in the corners, they had these little 90s like see-through green televisions.
Yep.
Like the big CRT
I remember
televisions
those.
that were like the color of like the old Apple or whatever Macs those
Yeah.
were, like the little like iMacs from days of yore.
Yeah, where it's just like, you could see like the
I
flesh of
miss
the
that.
computer. just, like-
Have you ever gone to eat at the S&B there now?
Yeah.
It's like, I go in there, I'm like, this is cool, but man,
I want the Tro.
I want the
Yeah.
Electro back. Like, you've got plenty of fucking S&B burgers now, man. Just make this back to a cool spot.
Nah,
Pretty fucking please.
I agree, but man, those burgers make a lot more money
True.
than
like 6 dudes sitting at the bar shooting the shit.
Robbie,
Till
do you
2:30
remember when we were sitting at the bar on like a Wednesday, and Brian was talking to us? He was talking about making it a restaurant. He's like, man, food just makes more sense than booze. We're like, yeah, but man, we come here all the time. And he's like, yeah, but it makes more sense to sell burgers to like a bunch of people than just you guys.
Yep.
Like,
exactly.
because it was basically just us
At
5.
least he was honest about it.
Yeah.
No, I ran into him at the Deftones concert. And
Yeah?
I mean,
Ryan?
Yeah.
Nice.
I hadn't seen him in years.
Dude.
Like years.
Yeah.
And, I go to S&Bs every now and then, but it's not like he's at those all the time. I mean, there's
No.
several of them now. It's
Yeah.
fucking blown
Like
up.
a bunch.
Yeah, I can't believe it. But, so let's go back to the band. So you played
Yeah.
the packed out show.
And so we played the show, and then it was like I felt like it was like right when the internet for people of our age was just like catching on, and it was like past MySpace bands, and we were like, oh man, we want to be like a buzz band, and we're gonna like kind of do this. So we were playing like every single show. It was, like our first record really was like just straight drunk British rock.
Mm-hmm.
So drinking beers on stage, throwing them on people throwing beers on us, just
A party.
playing. Yeah, just playing as loud as possible, as fast as possible for as many people as we could. And it was a lot of fucking fun. And we were kind of riding that high a little bit. We put out our first record, Ceremonies, and it was a lot of fun. But there was a time, basically after we recorded Ceremonies, and we didn't put it out for about 5 months after we were done, 6 months after we were done. And so we hit a point to where we kind of got sick of what we were playing, and we were kind of sick of each other. It's just like how guys in bands do sometimes. We're just like, like some infighting and just like some bullshit. And you're like, you know what? Let's just say, fuck it. Let's take a 3-month break. And so we came back and we wrote, I can't remember what the name of the song was, but we got a new practice space and we wrote the song, and we were like, oh, holy shit. Like, we need to do something different, because this isn't who we want to be, like really who we want to be. And then, looking back on it, I didn't know who we were like emulating with our second record, Awakening. And people were like, oh, Smashing Pumpkins, like da-da-da-da. And it was like a lot heavier, a lot kind of weirder. I say weird, it really wasn't that weird. But
More fuzzy.
A departure, though.
Yeah, more of a departure, more fuzzy. I put down the guitar and just started singing. Derek was writing a lot of the music, and it was good. And I realized now, like looking back, it was like, holy shit, we sound like the Stone Roses. It was like we were doing shit that sounded like that, and it was really fun. And then like everything kind of came to a head, and we opened for Smashing Pumpkins. We were like, oh my god, like this is it. And then
I forgot about that. Yeah,
we started just playing so much that I got so tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
like
And
burnout.
So, yeah, very, very burnout and just sick of it. And I didn't like getting up on stage anymore. And I didn't like talking to people just because they knew I was in this band. I was just like, oh man, it's not me. It's like, I'm a nerd. I love anime. I love video games. Like that's the real me. And I love music, but it's like,
Yeah.
But me getting up on stage, I was just like,
Look, you created your persona on stage is totally not who you are.
right. It's a complete 180.
And since Pretty Black Chains, you haven't been in a band, right? You haven't done anything.
Well, I did. I take that back. I did Galactique
Okay.
with Colin Nance and my buddy Jim Burns, who does classic Nolan Ryan, and I also did Brothels for a while where I played bass.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was a little
But you
different.
weren't like fronting anything.
no.
were,
I played bass for
like
both.
the Pretty Black Chains. Like you were a fucking front man.
Yeah. That was like full
That was
bore.
kind of what it was until like last Saturday. You played with
Beach Language. Yeah, for the Cowboy Bebop
for the
art
Cowboy
show.
Bebop, which ties into the thing that you were talking about before. Like you're way into anime. Like you're super. You've been so fucking stoked for that fucking thing for a long time.
Yeah, I've been stoked for the Cowboy Bebop art show for a long time. It's just because I grew up liking anime like secretly almost.
Yeah.
Like it was a thing where when I got into high school, I was the runt when I was a freshman. But then I hit a growth spurt and I grew out of my shell and I became more talkative. I was captain of the soccer team. I was in student council. I was in drama club.
You're a nerd.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But deep inside, it's like I loved going home and watching like Gundam Wing or Yu Yu Hakusho or Rurouni Kenshin. I love that stuff. The Japanese culture appealed to me. I just like the tranquility of it and just the way they told stories. It appealed to me very much, so much so that my first job, not my first job, it was like my second or third job when I was 17, I was washing dishes at Sushi Nico. And so it was summer of 2002, and it was like, washing dishes on the weekend. I would get out at like midnight. I would be like the last person out. And so I would get in my car, I would drive home, and I would get home around 1, and at 1:30, Cowboy Bebop would start. And I watched the first episode like one night, one Saturday, and it would air every Saturday, and I just got hooked. And so I like tuned in every single Saturday.
Did you work at Sushi Nico because of your Japanese?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was just so obsessed with it. And then, it kind of went dormant for a few years when I went to college, joined a fraternity. And it wasn't a fraternity. I mean, it was a fraternity, but it was like, didn't haze.
Right.
We were more concerned with grades and being good at sports and like having fun. But like
something on a resume, like
right. I mean, yeah, it was a blast. Like I'm very much like I'm a frat dude, but like I don't regret that choice because of the people that I met. Like me being like a super like fucking skinny dorky little dude, like I've made some of the best friends with some guys who were just like bros, but they were curious about things. They were just like, hey man, like when I think it was my sophomore year, one of my favorite roommates of all time, his name is Dale Scheller. He's like, big dude. He was from Stillwater. He was like hometown hero, like beach blonde hair, just
Grillsmen.
Like, yeah, a real Grillsman, like a big dude. And we got paired to room, and I was thinking about like working out a little bit because I was just like so small. Like I just want to like work out and just like feel like get stronger, not necessarily like gain a bunch of muscle, but get stronger. And I was like, I had started getting into music like heavily, like the Walkman and all this shit. And I'm talking to Dale, and I'm like, hey man, do you think I could start like working out, like going to the Colvin and like working out with you? And he was like, yeah, man, of course. He was like, can we do like a trade? And I was like, okay, what? And he was like, can you start teaching me about like cool music? I was
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah, I was just like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, I always see you like studying with your headphones in and like seeing all these bands that you talk about that I don't have any idea. And it's like, I want to know, like I feel like I might be missing out on something cool. And
that's kind of rad, man.
Yeah. And it got to this point where it was just like me, like this 5'9" little like Dorcas, and then like this 6'3" just like macho dude, just like geeking out to like the Walkman and like the Thrills, and like the Strokes and stuff like that, like getting really into it. And there's one time where we went to Quail Springs together with a bunch of our buddies, like to go see a movie, like some random movie, and these guys, I was wearing like super skinny like girl jeans and like pointy shoes, and I had like a big afro and like a Radiohead t-shirt on, and these dudes start like picking on me, like straight up. Yeah. And then so Dale is there, and he rolls up and he goes, you want to fucking say something to my friend? And the guy was like, what? And he was like, fucking say something, you little pussy.
Oh, I bet that felt awesome.
Yeah. Motherfucker. And the dude just like walk away, and Dale was like, don't let them fuck with you again. And I was like, all right,
we'll do, man.
And I mean, we're still buddies to this day. He's got 2 beautiful kids.
That's awesome.
Just like works. I can't remember. I think he works like at a cool bank. But
so you're saying you have this like fascination with Japanese culture.
Yes.
And you recently went on a trip to Japan.
Yes, to Tokyo. And you said like you had fucking. I've seen photos. Like it seemed like I've never been. I've had opportunities to go. My brother was stationed there for the longest time. He was in the Air Force. And I never fucking pulled the trigger. Robbie and I talked about that before. Like, just you have an opportunity to do something, just you don't pull that fucking trigger. And I didn't. Man. And I hesitated. And I wish I would have fucking went, because man, it just seems like such an amazing place to go. It is the coolest place I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah,
changed my life. Definitely for the better, because it made me realize that even though shit may suck. And it's all, no matter what angle you look at it from, something's always going to suck.
Yeah.
But what I learned from the Japanese people is that they don't mind it. They just do the best for themselves and their family and for everyone around them. Like they don't have enemies.
Right.
They just help each other. Even if it's like giving an old man a seat on a train. or, you know, like helping a drunk friend down the street and making sure he gets home okay.
It's
See, I thought
fucking chivalry, man.
Yeah, dude.
See, okay, from what I've seen, and like from like, well, basically just the shows like Anthony Bourdain show and things like that, the Japanese people work hard and they party hard.
It's definitely work hard, play hard.
Right.
I mean, shit, dude. We, Bo and I spent.
I love Bo, by the way. That dude is fucking amazing.
Quality, incredible human being, and he fucking learned the Tokyo subway system like a bandit.
Yeah.
I mean, day one we were there, he just looks at it and he's just like, okay, we need to do this and do this. Okay, cool, we're good. Let's get on. And I was just like, dude, are you sure? And he's like, no, cool, we got it. And we just like point A to point B like it's nothing.
Awesome.
Dude,
That's
it was
amazing. So that's something that you want to like continue doing is like maybe a once a year journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've started trying to teach myself kana, which is a combination of hiragana.
I saw that. I saw you posting things about like it's Japanese.
Okay, so what kana is it's a combination of hiragana, which is 46 mnemonic characters, and katakana, which is another 46 characters. And there's also kanji, but kanji is like old school. It's got almost 60,000 characters.
Kanji is what you see on like sorority girl tattoos.
Right.
Bros.
Well, yeah, some of them. Yeah, some of the kanji is hard, but kanji is really hard. But kana is kind of what I'm trying to learn. Not to speak it. I'm trying to learn to read and write it first.
Okay.
And so that way I can read signs and things like that. And then after that, I want to linguistically kind of get in there and try and like learn some.
So would you maybe eventually want to like move?
Absolutely.
To Japan?
Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. If there were a job there that I would really want to do. And I would love to teach children English. I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
But I would move to Tokyo in a heartbeat. I feel a really weird connection with it. Like when I was there, the first 2 days I was very scared.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Like being on the other side of the planet was kind of scary.
Well, I'm sure it's just like culture shock.
Opposite
too.
side of the globe.
Complete, a culture shock, and just realizing when we got there, we were like, holy fuck, dude. Like not a lot of people speak English, if any at all. I mean, we ran into very few English speakers.
Really? See, that's my thing. Like, I've always wanted to go, but I've always like, there's probably people there that speak English.
We got very lucky to have a friend who had taught, or she teaches English there still. Her name is Jordan Cooper. She lives in Shimokitazawa, which is like kind of a cool district in Setagaya in Tokyo. But she's from Tulsa. She went to Oklahoma State, and I became friends with her through another friend through Instagram. Told her we were coming. I had chatted her up a little bit and just being like, "Hey, we're coming. You know, let's hang out. Let's meet up." And it's actually funny. The first night she came and met us, we stayed. Thank you to Bo's dad. We stayed at the Park Hyatt Tokyo, which is like super, super, super fucking ritzy, like 40, 50, 60 stories up. The view from our room was incredible. But so we get there like 2 p.m. on a Sunday. So we're like super jet lagged, but we're like, we're going to fucking fight through it and just party and just go our first night. We can't waste it. And so we go to New York Bar, which is the bar that Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson meet in Lost in Translation. So we get that bar's in our hotel. That bar's in our hotel. And so
was that the hotel they shot into?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. So we go there and we're at the bar. We went to some yakitori place like down the street for dinner. So we're nice and full. We go up to this bar. We sit down. Bo orders like a really nice whiskey, and I order like a Sapporo, like a big one. It's like $12 for that Sapporo. I was like, fuck. But had to do it. And we tell Jordan, and we're like, hey, we're at New York Bar at Park Hyatt Tokyo. And she's like, cool, I'll come meet you. It's actually a 2,000 yen cover if you're not staying at the hotel, which is like a little bit less than $20. We're like, okay, cool, we got it.
Right.
But I think she just like got in anyways. So she sits down with us, and we're enjoying like this night. It's like a jazz ensemble. It's very nice. And Bo and I are just like relaxing. We're like, man, can't believe we finally made it. Like, this is it. It's like for me, it's like a lifelong dream come true.
Yeah.
Like, I've been wanting to go since I was like 11 or 12. And so I'm just like, man, we fucking did it. It's like I'm tearing up, just like I'm so happy.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah. And Jordan is like, so what do you guys have planned for tonight? And we're like, well, we thought, we'd get a few drinks here and just kind of chill out, maybe go back to the room, hang, and just, like lay low. And she's like, okay, well, I've got a different plan. And we're like, okay, shoot. And she was like, well, there's a 7-Eleven at the bottom of the building because the hotel is only from floors like 40 to 60. And so at the bottom of the building, it's just like office shit. She's like, well, there's a 7-Eleven at the bottom of the building. Let's get grocery bags full of beers because they only sell them in singles. They don't sell them in packs.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, she was like, well, let's get some beers and walk around Shinjuku and Kabukicho and see what we can get into.
Can you drink like out?
Yeah.
On the street?
Yeah. There are no open container laws.
That's cool.
So we go downstairs, we get some beers, and we start walking around Shinjuku in Tokyo. And we start hitting just random bars. We go into Taito Station, which is like a big chain arcade, 7 stories tall. We're like running up and down, drinking heavily.
Like an arcade.
Yeah, like legit,
Like games.
yeah, like games, not this bullshit that we have here. Like real, like Japanese, like arcades, like the ones that you dream about.
I think Robbie would really enjoy to be in a place like that.
I'm sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
you would. Oh man, it is a dreamland. And then we get fucking.
I hate
lost.
dreams. I hate dreams.
But this dream
Never
is
mind.
Yeah, right. Fuck this.
I like nightmares.
We find a Hooters,
Of course you
but
do.
it's in a basement, so we don't go down because you can't see the girls for free. So we find this Hooters and we're like laughing at it, and we find like a McDonald's.
wait,
and it's
what?
funny. We're laughing at the Hooters.
No. You said you can't see the girls for free?
No, like because there's like a Hooters. It's like a storefront for Hooters,
Yeah.
but it's a brick wall with
so
a staircase.
they treat Hooters like it's a strip club?
Pretty much.
Are the waitresses nude?
I don't know. We didn't go in.
Because that might be the one time you want to get wings at a Hooters.
Well, and also we went into Kabukicho. Kabukicho is one of a couple of like kind of like red lightish
like S&M dungeon kind of places?
I mean, just like love hotels
Okay.
and stuff like that, and host clubs. And so we start walking around Kabukicho, drinking. We get to this bar called Cow Bar. Keep on the Wavelet. That's the full name. It's about the size of the room that we're in right now.
Okay.
And there's a gentleman at the bar.
It's like literally just a bar and like stools.
Yeah, and the bar is open from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. And so we get there around 2, and we sit down, and the guy behind the bar, it's the owner. His name is Cow. He's probably 25, and he gives us raw quail eggs, just like one raw quail egg in like a little thing. And Jordan is talking to him in Japanese, communicating that we're like from like whatever, and we're drunk as fuck. Just being like, oh man, we want to tell this guy we're from Oklahoma, or it was probably just me. Bo was playing it cool, and I was just like, man, tell him we're from Oklahoma, and I can't believe I'm here. And so we eat the quail egg. It was actually really good. The inside tasted like cheddar cheese. Really weird. And then we start eating like wasabi peas, and he's like, okay, what beers do you want? And we looked down the list, and I was like, oh man, I see a Tecate. I was like, I'll do a Tecate. Tecate was probably like $5 American, 12-ounce can, and he pours it in like stemmed glassware. Nice shit, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Man.
And then there's like another beer that's by I want to say Kirin did it, Kirin Ichiban.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm probably wrong, but it's called Heartland, and it's in like the medicine bottle like size that you would get like the Shiners at Speakeasy,
Yeah,
like
the
the
big
huge ones.
like magnums. Yeah.
And they're like $4.
Should've
And so
got that.
so we start drinking those. I don't. Oh, and then we decide at maybe like 3:30. We're like, fuck it, we have to go home.
This is still the first night you're there.
This is still the first night.
Oh,
We're
Jesus
like, we
Christ.
have to fucking go home. And so we start walking home. We stop at another a 7-Eleven Lifesaver in Japan. And
Are they everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere.
Okay.
And also Lawson's and Family Mart. But
Are those like your CVS, Walgreens-y?
pretty much,
kind
yeah,
of
they're your gas stations, but there are no
Sure.
gas stations in Tokyo because I mean practically no one drives. So we stop there. We stop at another 7-Eleven. We get like the anti-hangover drinks that you can get for your liver, and then we get some more beers, of course. And then we're walking back up to Park Hyatt Tokyo, and there are these kids skating like in this like really cool like empty kind of area or like grinding rails
like
and
just
shit
freestyle
like that.
skating.
Yeah. And so we start talking to them, and Jordan is translating for us, and then like we're trying to skate and stuff like that. And then it gets to be about 4, and Jordan is like, guys, like my cab home like from Shinjuku to Setagaya would be like $60. And we're just like, fuck man, it's like we can't do this to her. Like she came and was like our liaison, and we were like, oh wait, we have 2 beds in our room. you just sleep in one. Me and Bo will just bunk up together. Like, fuck it. Because we actually brought her, we were like, okay, so what do you want as like payment for showing us around? And she was like, oh, you don't have to do that. And we were like, oh, no, we insist. Like, what do you want? And she was like, reduced fat Cheez-Its, barbecue sauce.
Simple.
Yep.
Things they don't have there at all.
Right. Not at all. And so we're like, okay. So we went back up to the room. We were like blasting music, just like dancing around, having a good time. We give her the Cheez-Its. She's like, oh my God, like eating the Cheez-Its. She passes out, and then me and Bo like pass out in our bed, just like, bleh, and then wake up around 10:30, just enough time to shower and get out and go to our Airbnb.
That's awesome.
And that was
That
our
is
first night in
rad,
Tokyo.
man.
Dude, and that's the thing is I've never been out of the country, and I feel like such a rube. I want to go out of the country. I haven't had a chance to yet, or I haven't taken the chance to yet.
Got to take that chance.
And just hearing that, going out of the state feels like a different world. I couldn't imagine
Doesn't
being
it?
on the other side of the fucking globe.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, man.
And it was great, just because I had looked forward to it so much and being in love with anime and Japanese culture.
Well, that's like-
so much.
Yeah, that's just like such a childhood dream of like you did it, man.
Yep.
You
That
got there.
And you're
Top
going
of it.
back.
Yeah,
And you're going back.
Going back again in hopefully in 2017 and then 2020 for the Tokyo Olympics for sure.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, got to.
Awesome. Well, that kind of goes into our theme of like doing things. You
Doing
did a
it.
big thing. You
Yeah.
fucking did it. You went to Japan.
Yeah,
And you're gonna keep doing it.
I'm gonna try. Maybe live there. Who knows?
Well, that's the
Awesome.
thing is you can talk about doing something, but to do it, to actually put the money down, take the time off, plan your life around this big change, and the fact that you finally did it, it just makes you a better person for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And you could talk about doing it for years and years. There are things I've talked about doing for years that I've never done.
Right.
But the moment that you put your money where your mouth is and you fucking do it, it changes your life. And not to get cheesy, but like you only have so much carved out.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
fucking do it.
I mean, the
You know?
only thing that you can't ever get more of is time.
Exactly.
So you have to use it wisely.
And like you said, man, like you said, it was a life changer. That's what it is, man. You just kind of even something as small as going to go see a new place,
Oh yeah.
getting a new job, finishing your fucking college degree. Like it's all just it's all a thing that's a step in a new direction. And man, everyone out there, fucking, if you have an idea, if there's something you want to do, just fucking do it, man. I know you got one. Just fucking do it. Just stop pussyfooting around.
Yeah, I mean, and mine was going to Tokyo. And
Yeah.
so Bo and myself were just like, dude, let's just fucking go.
Just go.
Let's go. Bo was
Just
like,
go.
I know you've wanted to go there. You should just do it. And like, I have to thank him because he was the one who like put the fire into my ass and like gave me the gumption to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm saving
Go.
this money. We're buying the plane tickets. We're saving money and we're going. And then we did it. And then when I came back, we got back at like 11 a.m. on a Saturday, and we left Tokyo at like 11 a.m. on a Saturday. So it's like breakfast in Tokyo, brunch in Oklahoma City, and we stayed up till like 4 or 5 a.m. that night, just going wild because it was so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All you got to do, guys.
Kellen, thanks so much for coming by, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been
Thank you
awesome.
for having me.
I
appreciate
hate,
it.
I hate to cut things off, but we're almost hitting 2 hours. That's like
Oh,
an
dude,
hour
I
longer
feel so
than
bad.
usual. No, it's good. It's a good thing. Great conversation, and we'll definitely have to have you back.
Yeah,
man.
please. I would love that.
We didn't even get into boys tonight, and that's the thing. Is like we usually try to talk about like upbringing and how we got to where we are, but this conversation has been so good we didn't have to go there.
It's
so
been fun.
Yeah.
it's been a good night, and yeah, thanks again for coming on, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.